Okay, we're going to call this meeting to order. Notice of this meeting stating the date, place, and time has been disseminated as required under the Open Public Meetings Act, Chapter 231, PL 1975. Copies of the agenda, finance report, and personnel reports are also posted on the city's website and Linden TV for the public. This meeting is now called to order. Mr. Clerk, can you please conduct the prayer and flag salute?
God of the universe, look thou with favor upon these here assembled, and bestow thy guidance upon the members of the governing body in their deliberations. This we ask in thy name. Amen. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation,
under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
In the event of an emergency, the proper method of exiting the council chambers is through the 3 doors in the rear of the room. Occupants should proceed down the staircase, out the front door, and move away from the area of the front steps. Any member of the public wishing to speak during the public comment section of the meeting, please sign in on the white sheets provided at the front of the room with your name and address. There are also sign-in sheets for those wishing to speak on the public hearing on the city budget and for the public hearing on the city budget, so please look at the top of the list. Please turn off all cell phones or place them on vibrate. If you must take a call, please leave the council chambers to do so. Mr. Clerk, can you please call the roll?
Mrs. Ormond,
Here.
Javik,
Here.
Caldwell,
Here.
Mohammed,
Present.
Cosby, Roman,
Present.
Strano,
Here.
Blaine,
Here.
Medina,
Here.
Hickey,
Here.
Mrs. Yemakaitis.
Here. Okay, can we have a motion to approve the minutes of April 19th, 2022 council meeting?
Council President, I'd like to make a motion to approve those minutes and ask for a second.
Mrs. Ormond,
Yes.
Javik,
Yes.
Caldwell,
Yes.
Mohammed,
Abstain.
Cosby, Roman,
Yes.
Strano,
Yes.
Blaine,
Yes.
Medina,
Yes.
Hickey,
Yes.
Mrs. Yemakaitis.
Yes. Okay, this is the time and place to conduct the 2022 budget hearing. I'm going to ask our CFO, Mrs. Zach, to please come up and do a presentation.
Good evening, everyone. It is my honor to present the 2022 municipal budget. I'd like to thank the mayor and council for allowing me to present it, and it's wonderful to be back in the council chambers after 2 years. The 2022 municipal budget is $115,161,185.08. The budget can be broken into 2 categories of operating expenses, our salary and wages and other expenses. The salary and wage portion of this municipal budget is $49,520,602.08. That covers all 649 full and part-time employees, 537 full-time, 51 regular part-time, and 59 crossing guards. The other category is our other expenses, which makes up the operating budgets for all of our departments, at $65,640,583 for a total of $115,161,185.08. These 9 categories show how our budget is expended. The largest category is our purple, or our public safety departments, headed by, I'm biased, by one of the best police chiefs, Chief Hart, Chief Haskell of the fire department, for our fully paid police department, fully paid fire department, our dispatchers, and our OAM, comprised of public safety, $35,447,664, or roughly 30.78% of the total budget. Our second largest category is our insurances. The insurance category covers all of our health insurance, workers' compensation, and general liability at $17,195,000 $900, or roughly 14.93% of our total budget. The third largest category is our Community Services Department, headed by Nick Pantina and Director Jerry Bishop, and also our Parks and Recreation Department. Right now, the mayor is acting head of the Parks and Recreation. We have the Division of Public Works, headed by Dave Martinez, Engineering, Buildings and Grounds, Municipal Garage, Transportation and Parking, for a total of $14,869,150, or roughly 12.91% of our total appropriations. The fourth largest category is our statutory expenses at $14,010,561.23, or roughly 12.17% of our total appropriations. The statutory expenses include all of our pension, FICA, and unemployment costs. The fifth largest category shows our general government. These are all the smaller miscellaneous departments, from the mayor's office to the city clerk's office to the finance department, the tax collector, the Board of Health, our social services department. Total general government operates at $12,597,944.66, or roughly 10.94% of our total appropriations. The sixth category is our debt service at $12,102,000, or roughly 10.51% of our total budget. We try to maintain a level debt service. Our seventh category is our reserve for uncollected taxes. As a municipality, we are responsible for handing over 100% to the county, 100% to the Board of Education. No municipality ever collects 100% of taxation. We have an exceptional tax collector's office. They work extremely hard. Our tax collector, Stacy Karen, has a 98.5% tax collection rate. However, we still have to budget for reserve for uncollected taxes at $3,875,000, or roughly 3.36% of our total appropriations. The eighth category is our utilities for our 23 various facilities in the city at $2,701,200, or roughly 2.35%. We try to reduce this expense wherever possible by joining co-ops. And our last category is our library, which is a state-mandated number that the state of New Jersey has a formula that dictates what each municipality at minimum is allowed to budget. For 2023, it's $2,361,765.19, or roughly 2.05% of our total appropriations. Everyone asks each presentation where their tax dollars go. You want to know, when you get your tax bill, where is your money being spent? This governing body under Mayor Armstead and our finance chairperson, Lisa Ormond, has worked extremely hard in having our tax dollars stabilized. This blue portion is what the city government has control over when you're looking at your tax bill. For municipal portion, that amount to be raised by taxation did not go up again this year. $59,934,645.98, or roughly 31.48%, is your municipal portion of your tax bill. The library portion, as I stated earlier, is a state-mandated number at 1.24%, or $2,361,765.19. The school comprises of approximately 49.59% of your total tax bill. This is controlled by the members of the Board of Education, which have done a tremendous job over the last 4 years and also stabilizing and not increasing the amount to be raised by taxation. They've worked very hard, along with the mayor, in trying to reduce and levelize our tax base. The school estimated number for 2022 is $94,215,916, or roughly 49.59% of your tax bill. And the last component, headed by the Union County Board of Commissioners, is our county portion of what the city of Linden must pay to the county. It's an estimated number at $32,814,385.92, or roughly 17.24%. The open space is an estimated number at $1,049,904.60, or roughly 0.55%. We've been very fortunate and blessed by the County of Union to allow us to get grants each year for our Kids Trust program, and it's through this program. Once again, Mayor Armstead, this entire governing body, and the department heads have worked extremely hard in reducing expenses wherever possible. We are pleased to pronounce for the fifth year in a row for the average assessed home valued at $132,683. There would be no municipal tax increase. In addition, the mayor's administration had eliminated the garbage surcharge since 2018, which was $120 for a residential homeowner. That savings has been each year. The tax point in 2022 is $273,256. Everyone knows the number one priority to this mayor and council is servicing the city of Linden residents and taxpayers. We have a multitude of services that are provided by our DPW department. Under Dave Martinez, the department is extremely busy, and they work very hard in every ward, taking care of trees, sewers, maintaining waterways, garbage collection, trash collection, street sweeping, recycling, and park landscaping. In our Department of Recreation, we have over 37 parks totaling 106.53 acres. We have 5 recreation centers. We have 5 summer day camp programs that have many Linden campers. We have 6 summer playgrounds with over 600 Linden participants. We have 4 spring playground sites and 4 playground sites for fall. Recreation is an extremely busy department in the city. We have youth-sponsored activities that range from baseball, soccer, indoor, outdoor, basketball, fishing derby, wrestling, art classes, talent shows, ceramics. These are just to name a few of the various youth-sponsored activities. We have various special needs camps and clinics for bowling, soccer, tennis. We have a lot of adult-sponsored activities that our recreation department runs that not only comprise of our exercise rooms and our fitness rooms, but we also have ceramics, concerts, sewing. They have various seminars that they run at the various recreation centers. And our senior citizens have social clubs and dance classes. They have line dancing and painting, and they have picnics. So our recreation department is once again a very, very strong service-oriented department. The mayor and council work very closely with the Special Improvement District and our recreation department to provide a variety of entertainment and events for all Linden residents free of charge. We have the summer concert series that's going to be starting in June. That runs on Tuesdays and Fridays. I believe tomorrow is going to be our first after-work Wednesday. We're going to have karaoke. There's going to be different kinds of house music and entertainment for Wednesdays. We have National Night Out in August for the police department. Kids to Park Day is coming up this weekend. And we have various festivals, from a Polish festival to the Latin festival. We have Fire Prevention Week. Some of these dates are tentative, but I'm sure that you were going to see on social media the exact dates and times of these events that are coming up, and make sure you always check our website as well. The library is autonomous from the city. However, we do have to fund them under the state statute. So if you check out the library, you'll see that they also have a multitude of programs and events that they have at their facility, from rooms to tutoring to foreign languages. So once again, if you do have the opportunity, do check out the Linden Library. There's quite a few events going on. The second component of our budget is our capital improvement plan. This is something where we look at all of the departments and we ask them to forecast over a 6-year period what their needs are going to be, whether they're going to need certain improvements in infrastructure, or if it's certain equipment that their departments need. They should have a life expectancy of at least 5 years and over $20,000 in value. As our public safety departments, police department, and fire, we will be having certain vehicles for patrol vehicles that the police department need 24/7 operations, and they have a various IT division that needed to have several upgrades. So the total appropriation for the capital budget for police is $1,193,170. For our fire department, we had to purchase some firefighting equipment, some protective personal equipment, and also an ambulance and a command vehicle, for a total of $559,900 for our capital projects. You'll see on the various agendas the bond ordinances. The bond ordinances are the authorization that allow us to use short-term debt in order to purchase these necessary items. We have a first reading, we have a second reading, and after that second reading, it takes 8 votes of the governing body members for our bond ordinances to pass. We've had some on temporary capital because we're trying to beat the increases for pricing, unfortunately, the way the inflation's been hitting us. non-public safety departments, one of the major ones is engineering. Joe Krovac has done an exceptional job in receiving grants to offset some of the infrastructure improvements. We have street resurfacing. We receive over $1.7 million in grants. We have curbs and sidewalk reconstruction, storm and sanitary sewer improvements. We have traffic signal upgrades that we look to do. And we're looking to put in some electric charging stations, also trying to obtain a grant for that, in addition to exploring the possibility of some redevelopment at our airport. So the total engineering for 2022 is $5,543,000. Another large non-public safety department is our community service department. Once again, it's comprised of various divisions from public works and public property to municipal garage to transportation and parking and buildings and grounds. They have various projects that they are either ready to start or going to be starting shortly, as well as getting certain equipment that was mandated and needed for their departments and their divisions. The total for their capital budget is $3,235,540. And we had amended the last two readings for our parks to do some additional multi-park improvements throughout the city. So that total is going to be $545,100. And how the council and mayor are able to do this, Mayor Armstead and Alex Laspinoso, our redevelopment LEDC director, as well as the chief of staff, work very closely with the finance and revenue committee to try to bring in redevelopment. And the redevelopment projects, just to name a few, are what enable us to stabilize our taxes and allow a budget to be presented that has no municipal tax increase. These are just a list of some of the projects. There's going to be more projects that are on the horizon. Linden is in a renaissance, and the mayor and council work very hard to bring in reoccurring revenue. The total investment of just some of these projects is over $1.251 billion. Our total residential units are at 1674, and the total retail, commercial, and hotel square footage alone is 5.69 million. And if you need any additional information, you can reach out to Alex Laspinoso. He also has a PowerPoint presentation on each of the specific redevelopment projects if you have any further questions. At this time, I'd really like to thank my staff for all of their hard work in helping me prepare this presentation. And I'd like to thank Nancy for her assistance tonight in putting this together and helping me go through it. I'd be glad to answer any questions you may have on the budget, and I really thank you all for your time and attention this evening. Thank you.
The 2022 municipal budget was placed on the city's website after the introduction last month and was available for review at the Linden Public Library. I'm going to call on Mrs. Ormond at this time to read her budget statement.
Thank you, Council President. The introduced budget represents a total of $115,161,185.08 in expenditures for the year 2022. I am pleased to announce this budget represents another year of no municipal tax increase based on an average assessed home of $132,683. The City of Linden is committed to providing our residents with a variety of city services and quality of life improvements. Mayor Armstead's administration recognizes taxpayers need tax relief. In addition to eliminating the garbage surcharge in 2018, the City Council has worked very hard to deliver a slight decrease on the municipal portion of your tax bill for the 5th year in a row. I would like to thank all the members of the governing body for their assistance and recommendations on the 2022 budget. I would like to especially thank every department head for their dedication and their diligence in preparing their 2022 municipal budgets. I'd like to make a motion to open the public hearing at this time and ask for a second, please.
Second.
Mrs. Ormond?
Yes.
Javik?
Yes.
Caldwell?
Yes.
Mohammed? Yes. Cosby? Roman?
Yes.
Strano?
Yes.
Blaine.
Yes.
Medina.
Yes.
Hickey.
Yes.
Mrs. Yemakaitis.
Yes. Okay, is there anyone who would like to ask questions or comment on the budget? Do we have a sign-in sheet? Okay, Mrs. Malik, please come up. Yes, you can, okay. Clerk's office? Okay, the clerk's office. City clerk's office, all right. Is there anyone that wants to be heard on the city budget? Okay, seeing none. Can we have a motion to close the public hearing, please?
So moved.
Second.
Okay,
Mrs. Ormond?
Yes.
Javik?
Yes.
Caldwell? Yes. Mohammed?
Yes.
Cosby? Yes. Roman?
Yes.
Strano?
Yes.
Blaine?
Yes.
Medina?
Yes.
Hickey?
Yes.
Mrs. Yemakaitis.
yes. Okay, Mr. Clerk, can you please read the resolution adopting the 2022 municipal budget?
Be resolved by the council members of the City of Linden, County of Union, that the budget herebefore set forth is hereby and adopted and shall constitute an appropriation for the purposes stated of the sums therein set forth as appropriations and authorizations of the amount of A, $59,934,645.98 for municipal purposes, $2,361,765.19 minimum library tax. Summary of revenues: surplus anticipated $8,950,000, miscellaneous revenues anticipated $40,114,773.91, receipts from delinquent taxes $3,800,000, amount to be raised by taxation for municipal purposes $59,934,645.98. Amount to be raised by taxation, minimum library tax, $2,361,765.19, for total revenues of $115,161,185.08. Operating, general appropriations, operations including contingent, $79,652,214. Deferred charges and statutory expenses, $13,551,520. Operations, total operations excluded from cap, $5,435,909.85. Capital improvements, $500,000. Municipal debt service, $12,102,000. Deferred charges, municipal, $44,541.23. Reserve for uncollected taxes, $3,875,000. Total appropriations, $115,161,185.08.
Okay, can we have a motion to adopt the 2022 municipal budget, please?
Yes, thank you, Council President. I'd like to make a motion to adopt the 2022 municipal budget and ask for a second, please.
Second.
Mrs. Ormond?
Yes.
Javik?
Yes.
Caldwell?
Yes.
Mohammed?
Yes.
Cosby? Yes. Roman?
Yes.
Strano?
Yes.
Blaine?
Yes.
Medina?
Yes.
Hickey?
Yes.
Mrs. Yemakaitis.
Yes. Okay, at this time, I'm going to call upon Mr. Mike Bono to do a presentation on our SID budget. Mr. Bono, can you turn on the mic, please? It's right there. The button underneath? Yeah. Thank you. There you go.
Oh, okay. Thank you. You all have a copy of the 2022 budget for SID. Obviously, we don't have anywhere near the line items that the municipal budget has. So if you have any questions on any of these line items, I'd be glad to answer them. I want you to note one thing. The city revenue of $190,000 comes into our budget in June. The $105,786 is our surplus over the years. So we've budgeted in a way that the $105,000 will take care of the immediate expenses until we get our next allocation. We try to be very prudent with the money we spend in SID. And if you go down the line items, if you have any questions about any of them, I'd be more than happy to answer them for you.
Council? Okay. Anyone from the public have any comments on the SID budget? Nobody signed in? Okay. Okay, seeing none. Can we have a motion to close the public hearing on the 2022 SID budget? Oh.
There's no copies of the file?
Those copies were available, as was the city budget, in my office, and they were advertised on the website for distribution
Okay,
prior to tonight.
okay. Any other questions from the public on this? Okay, can we have a motion to close the public hearing and adopt the 2022 SID budget?
Council President, I'd like to make a motion to close the budget hearing for SIDS, adopted, and ask for a second, please.
Second.
Mrs. Ormond?
Yes.
Javik?
Yes.
Caldwell?
Yes.
Mohammed?
Yes.
Cosby? Roman?
Yes.
Strano?
Yes.
Blaine?
Yes.
Medina?
Yes.
Hickey?
Yes.
Mrs. Yamakitis?
Yes. Okay, we're going to move on to ordinances on hearing, beginning with ordinance 6630.
A bond ordinance providing an appropriation of $1,068,540 for the acquisition of various items of capital equipment for the Division of Public Works and authorizing the issuance of $1,015,113 bonds or notes of the city for financing part of the appropriation.
Okay, has the ordinance been properly published and posted?
Yes, ma'am.
Has any written communication been received?
No, ma'am.
Is there anyone from the public who wishes to be heard on this ordinance? Okay, okay, seeing none, can we have a motion, please?
Council President, I move on ordinance number 6630 to close the hearing. The ordinance adopted and request a second.
Second.
Okay, discussion, Councilman Roman?
Thank you, Council President. I just wanted to let the public know that all these big numbers that you see here were just described in the presentation on the budget that you saw before. This is just the action now, in case you were wondering.
Okay, roll call, please.
Mrs. Ormond?
Yes.
Javik?
Yes.
Caldwell?
Yes.
Mohammed?
Yes.
Cosby? Roman?
Yes.
Strano?
Yes.
Blaine?
Yes.
Medina?
Yes.
Hickey?
Yes.
Mrs. Yamakitis?
Yes. Ordinance 6631.
Bond ordinance providing an appropriation of $1,080,200 for various capital improvements for the Division of Buildings and Grounds and authorizing the issuance of $1,026,190 bonds or notes of the city for financing part of the appropriation.
Okay, has the ordinance been properly published and posted?
Yes, ma'am.
Has any written communication been received?
No, ma'am.
Is there anyone from the public that wishes to be heard on this ordinance? Okay, seeing none, can we have a motion, please?
Yes, Council President, I'd like to request the
hearing on ordinance number 6630 be moved and ask for a second.
Second.
Mrs. Ormond?
Yes.
Hold it, point of order. It's ordinance number 6631.
Right.
My apologies.
No problem, we're going to vote on it, so
Thank you.
it's important.
I'm a little nervous tonight.
I know.
Councilman Estrada.
Mrs. Ormond?
Yes.
Javik?
Yes.
Caldwell?
Yes.
Mohammed? Yes. Cosby? Yes. Roman?
Yes.
Strano?
Yes.
Blaine?
Yes.
Medina?
Yes.
Hickey?
Yes.
Mrs. Yemakaitis?
Yes. Ordinance 6632.
Bond ordinance providing an appropriation of $478,000 for the Department of Community Services and authorizing the issuance of $454,575 bonds or notes of the city for financing part of the appropriation.
Okay, has the ordinance been properly published and posted?
Yes, ma'am.
Has any written communication been received?
No, ma'am.
Is there anyone from the public that wishes to be heard on this ordinance? Okay, seeing none, can we have a motion, please?
Council President, I move that ordinance number 6632's hearing be closed, the ordinance adopted, and I request a second.
Second.
Mrs. Ormond?
Yes.
Javik?
Yes.
Caldwell?
Yes.
Mohammed? Yes. Cosby? Yes. Roman?
Yes.
Strano?
Yes.
Blaine?
Yes.
Medina?
Yes.
Hickey?
Yes.
Mrs. Yemakaitis?
Yes. Ordinance 6633.
Bond ordinance providing an appropriation of $357,500 for the upgrade of fiber lines for the police department and authorizing the issuance of $339,625 bonds or notes of the city for financing part of the appropriation.
Has the ordinance been properly published and posted?
Yes, ma'am.
Has any written communication been received?
No, ma'am.
Is there anyone from the public who wishes to be heard on this ordinance? Okay, seeing none, can we have a motion, please?
Council President, I make a motion for the approval of 66-33 and ask for a second.
Second.
Mrs. Ormond?
Yes.
Javik?
Yes.
Caldwell?
Yes.
Mohammed? Yes. Cosby? Yes. Roman?
Yes.
Strano?
Yes.
Blaine?
Yes.
Medina?
Yes.
Hickey?
Yes.
Mrs. Yemakaitis?
Yes. Ordinance 6634.
An ordinance to amend and supplement Chapter 7, Traffic, of an ordinance entitled, "An Ordinance Adopting and Enacting the Revised General Ordinances of the City of Linden, 1999, passed November 23rd, 1999, and approved November 24th, 1999, and as amended and supplemented. Be it ordained by the Council of the City of Linden, Section 1, that Chapter 7, Traffic, shall be, and the same is hereby amended as follows. Chapter 7, Traffic, 7-33, Handicap Parking Regulations, 7-33.1A, Handicap Parking on Street, add 841 East Henry Street.
Okay, has the ordinance been properly published and posted?
Yes, ma'am.
Has any written communication been received?
No, ma'am.
Is there anyone from the public who wishes to be heard on this ordinance? Okay, seeing none, can we have a motion, please?
Yes, thank you, Council President. I'd like to make a motion to close the hearing on ordinance 66-34, adopt it, and ask for a second, please.
Second.
Mrs. Ormond?
Yes.
Javik?
Yes.
Caldwell?
Abstain.
Mohammed? Yes. Cosby? Yes. Roman?
Yes.
Strano?
Yes.
Blaine?
Yes.
Medina?
Yes.
Hickey?
Yes.
Mrs. Yemakaitis?
Yes. Ordinance 6635.
An ordinance to amend and supplement Chapter 31 zoning of an ordinance adopting and enacting the revised general ordinances of the City of Linden, 1999, passed November 23rd, 1999, and approved November 24th, 1999, and as amended and supplemented, amending C-1B Commercial District.
Okay, has the ordinance been properly published and posted?
Yes, ma'am.
Has any written communication been received?
No, ma'am.
Is there anyone from the public who wishes to be heard on this ordinance? Okay, seeing none, can we have a motion, please?
Yes, Council President, thank you. I'd like to make a motion to close the hearing on ordinance 66-35, adopted, and ask for a second, please.
Second.
Mrs. Ormond?
Yes.
Javik?
Yes.
Caldwell?
Yes.
Mohammed?
Yes.
Cosby? Roman?
Yes.
Strano?
Yes.
Blaine?
Yes.
Medina?
Yes.
Hickey?
Yes.
Mrs. Yemakaitis?
Yes. Okay, we're moving on to the consent agenda items. All items listed with asterisks are considered to be routine by the city council and will be enacted with one motion. We'll have no separate discussion on these items unless a council member so requests. We have items number 1 through 7. Does any council member wish to remove an item?
Yes, Council President. I'd like to move, poll for discussion, number 5.
Okay.
Make a motion.
All right, the Environmental Commission?
Thank you, Council President. I'm not able to speak on the resolutions, which also has a resolution on Hans Herberg in the 10th Ward resigning from the zoning board. If you've paid attention to these meetings over the years, Hans is always here. He's always willing to give a helping hand, volunteered for the police department and for our volunteer commissions and our boards, and he will be sorely missed in this government, and I will wish him all the best in his future endeavors. Thank you, Council President.
Thank you. Okay. Anyone else? Okay, can we have a motion, please?
I make a motion that we move consent agenda items 1 to 7 and ask for a second.
Second.
Mrs. Ormond?
Yes.
Javik?
Yes.
Caldwell?
Yes.
Mohammed?
Yes.
Cosby? Roman?
Yes.
Strano?
Yes.
Blaine?
Yes.
Medina?
Yes.
Hickey?
Yes.
Mrs. Yemakaitis?
Yes. Okay, we're going to move on to council members' reports and comments, starting with Councilwoman Ormond.
Thank you, Council President. I'm going to start off by reading the Budget Review and Finance Report. Approval is requested for the following finance actions. The payment of bills totaling $1,873,510.25. Bills have been signed by the Mayor, Council President, and Finance Chairwoman, and a detailed check register and vouchers are on file in the City Clerk's office. We are in receipt of the investments made by the City Treasurer for the month of April at the rate of 0.05%. I move for approval and ask for a second, please.
Second.
Mrs. Ormond?
Yes.
Javik?
Yes.
Caldwell?
Yes.
Mohammed?
Yes.
Cosby? Roman?
Yes.
Strano?
Yes, with the exception of an abstention, because somewhere in that $1,873,510.25 is a reimbursement to my wife that I will be abstaining on for cultural and heritage expenses.
Blaine?
Yes.
Medina?
Yes.
Hickey?
Yes.
Mrs. Yemakaitis?
Yes. Okay, go ahead, Councilwoman.
Okay, I would like to read the Division of Transportation and Parking Report. I hereby submit the monthly financial report for the Division of Transportation and Parking for the month of April 2022. This report includes the collection of on- and off-street parking meters, railroad parking lots, railroad parking permits, and merchant parking permits. The Trenton side collections, $2,364.50. The New York side collections, $836. Railroad credit card transactions, $29,165.60. Zero for railroad permits. Online railroad permits, $4,086. Parking meter collections, $11,825.31. Merchant permits, $249.72. The grand total, $48,527.13. This was submitted by Tyrone L. Gibbons, the Traffic Maintenance Supervisor. Okay, so now for the third ward report. The first ward report, and I'm thinking third ward because I just want to let a lot of people know that our wards are actually being realigned. So part of the third ward is now also part of the first ward. Part of the first ward has been assigned to the second ward. So there's been just a lot of realigning going on. And this happens every 10 years once the census is taken. It's based on the amount of people that live in an area. They don't want any one particular ward to be more heavy than the other. So you will probably be receiving your ballots, and you might see on them that there's a new polling location. I will be walking the areas that have been assigned to me, newly assigned to me, and will be dropping off my contact information so you can reach me in the event that you have a problem. I will also be walking the ward with Councilwoman Monique Caldwell and Councilman Barry Javik. So those areas that are now going to be reassigned to them, they can meet the constituents in that area and be completely comfortable with them, and let the people know that they will receive the same service and the same type of response that they received while I was your council person. I also want to just kind of like let everybody know, if you don't know, the spring is here. I would like to just highly encourage everybody to pay attention to the leash law that we have for our dogs. We've had some instances where dogs have attacked other residents' pets and have actually attacked some of the children or bit some of the children in the neighborhood. If I see you walking in the first ward and you do not have a leash on your dog, I don't care who you are, I'm calling and I'm telling. If you walk past my house and you're caught on video, I will be turning it in, because it's not fair. Dogs have rights, but people have greater rights than any animal to be safe and not be mauled or bit. Memorial Day is coming up, and a lot of people open up their pools. Please make sure that if you do put up one of those instant pools and it's a certain height, you do adhere to the ordinances having a 6-foot fence, a privacy fence, around your property. You will receive a summons for not having it done properly. New pools require a permit, okay? If you want to do it, you have to go to our department, our construction code department, and you must get a permit. Do not be surprised if they say you are not within the proper space from your property line. Take the pool down. And we don't want to do that once you spent all that money putting a pool up. We don't want to tell you to take it down, but we will if it's not in compliance and you did not get a permit. Okay, also basic permits for your house when it's undergoing construction. You must get plumbing, electric, you have to do it. In the first ward, we have a lot of new people moving in who seem to ignore the fact that you need a permit. You will receive a citation, you will receive a summons real quickly. You have to get permits to ensure that the plumbing and the electric and the building is within proper code and it passes. Let's see. Okay, the streets in the first ward pretty much are complete in terms of the water mains that were replaced and the gas lines. We did it for the whole benefit of our community.
Councilwoman, you need additional time?
Huh? Oh, yeah, I need time. I'm sorry.
Okay, 2 minutes.
Okay, so we do have the streets that were repaired, the water lines that were fixed. The streets are going to be repaired, just please be patient. We did the whole entire city, and the county's being done, so they will get that fixed. They will get that fixed. I want to address speeding on the side streets, whether you're a school bus, whether the public school or private school. We're going to ticket you. Please adhere to the stop signs, and the cars, just please stop speeding. Last but not least, Memorial Day is coming up. It is the unofficial start of the summer. Once again, we like to party. We like to whip out our barbecue grills, and we love to turn our music up. The thing that makes me the most angry is if I get a call at 11:30 at night because a resident has not turned their music off. I am going to enact a zero tolerance policy and ask the police to please tell you to turn it down, and your second offense I'm going to ask to be ticketed. We all deserve peace and quiet, and we deserve rest. Like I said, the worst thing that you can do to me is wake me up at 11 o'clock at night or 12 o'clock at night because somebody doesn't turn their music down. I would like to wish everybody a wonderful and happy Memorial Day. Be safe, be healthy, and you can always invite me over for a burger. Thank you, Council President.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Okay, we're going to deviate a little bit from our agenda. We have Mayor Armstead. We have the people here from Lupus. We're going to do a resolution. Proclamation. Okay. Can you turn it?
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
On May 7th, we had a ribbon cutting because it was Lupus Awareness Month. Lupus is a very interesting illness that most people don't even know about. And I always tell people my first dealing with lupus was with a very good friend of our family. She had become ill, and no one could identify what was going on with her. It was so hard. You know, she had been sick for a couple of years. They just couldn't figure out what was going on. Finally, she was diagnosed with lupus, and her sickness put her out of work. And of course, she was a friend of our family's. I took a room. I stayed at the house, you know, to try to help with her bills. But she later succumbed to the illness. But it's a very, very, very dreadful disease. And again, most people aren't aware of it. And May is Lupus Awareness Month, and we have a proclamation. And we do have someone in the audience, a young lady who suffered from that disease, and she's in remission, and our prayers are always with her and her family. But I'd like to read the proclamation first, and then we'll present the proclamation to her and her family. It reads, whereas lupus is a severe, unpredictable autoimmune disease that can cause life-threatening damage to any organ in the body, and whereas lupus is a global health problem that affects millions of young women, men, and children of all nationalities, races, ethnicities, genders, and ages worldwide, and whereas there remains low public awareness and understanding of lupus symptoms and health effects relative to its significant impact on the lives of people with lupus, and whereas many primary care physicians are not fully aware of all of the signs and symptoms of lupus, causing people with lupus to suffer for many years before they can obtain a diagnosis and begin treatment. And whereas people with lupus need access to medical specialists and high-quality, multidisciplinary care, including emotional, psychological, and social care. And whereas there is an urgent need to develop tools that will improve patient-physician communications. And whereas medical research efforts to find the cause of lupus create useful tools to monitor disease activity and develop more targeted and tolerable treatments are underfunded in comparison with diseases of similar magnitude and severity, and whereas there's a deep human need for worldwide to educate and support individuals affected by lupus, including their family members and caregivers. Now therefore be resolved that I, Mayor Derek Armstead, hereby designate the month of May as World Lupus Month, on which lupus organizations around the globe call attention to the need for increases in public and private sector funding for medical research on lupus education, programs for the health professionals, and improved access to quality medical care for people with lupus. It was signed by myself, Mayor Derek Armstead. Again, this is an illness that goes undetected, and often people who have it, they suffer tremendously because it's one of those things you can't diagnose. And then finally, when they do figure it out, you know, usually it's too late. But thank God that, you know, recent research and medical attention that's being given to the sickness, the illness, is helping to identify it faster, and they're coming up, you know, science and medicine are coming up constantly with new ways to try to address it. So without any further ado, I'd like to present the resolution to the family who came here this evening, if you will. Somehow you didn't make it to our agenda. I don't know what happened. But as I looked out in the audience and saw you, I said, hey, I gotta get that resolution. Come on. We'll just take a, do we have sisters here? Okay. We'll do it right there. And we have Mia Andrada, who is a lupus survivor. And she's 15 years old, so our prayers are with her.
Okay, we're going to continue with Councilman Javik, Second Ward report.
Yes, Council President. As chairman of the Fire Committee, the Fire Prevention Bureau collected the following monies during the month of April, a total of $9,507.52. Regarding the Linden Fire Department ambulance billing, the amount of $70,161.34 for April have been added to the total deposits for 2022, totaling $291,133.76. Good evening, everybody. Well, first, I would like to mention that we still have some spots open for graduating 6th, 7th, and 8th graders to join our Linden Police Department Youth Academy, which will run July 18th to July 22nd. This is basic training in police procedures, operations, investigations, drill, ceremony, and first aid. Also, there will be demonstrations from K-9, SWAT, Bomb Squad, and more. Applications are on the city website and at the police department. In addition, the police department is looking for more crossing guards. Applications can also be obtained in the City of Linden website, police department, and traffic department at City Hall. The Linden Health Department has one more day scheduled, May 18th, tomorrow, Wednesday, for a free anti-rabies vaccination for dogs and cats, which is required to obtain a license. This will be at Firehouse Number 1, 302 Southwood Avenue between 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. In addition, free chipping also will be offered at this location. Our second and second ward city dog park will be a big event this Saturday, May 21st, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Bring the family down for a dedication and ribbon cutting ceremony. Sparky the fire dog and McGruff the crime dog will be there for pictures. Also, we'll have some great giveaways. This is at Lexington Park on Lexington Avenue between West Elizabeth Avenue and West Blanky Street. In our second ward, work continues on our streets. Curbing and driveway aprons are being done in anticipation of repaving, which is looking good for probably June. Also, one of the city's newest buildings on West Elizabeth Avenue, which is in the second ward, next to the Linden Station parking lot, the Citizen. This has 234 units, and it's now leased with 107 of those are now leased. There continues to be a great demand in our great city, and we welcome everyone that's coming here. I can be reached at 908-494-4608 or email me at bjavick@linden-newjersey.gov or Facebook, Second Ward Councilman Barry Javik. I also encourage everyone to visit our City of Linden website for information. And one last reminder, the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 6th Ward will be having a community-wide garage sale on June 11th with a rain date of June 25th. All fees for permits are being waived. Thank you, Council President, and to report.
Thank you, Councilman Javik. Okay, Councilwoman Caldwell.
Thank you, Council President. Good evening, everyone. I make a motion for the approval of installation of streetlights at the following locations. Request a second. Pole number 07959, pole number 07957, pole number 64922, pole number 65905. All of the above lights are located on Route 109 and Avenue C. I'm requesting-
Second?
Mrs. Ormond?
Yes.
Javik?
Yes.
Caldwell?
Yes.
Mohammed?
Yes.
Cosby? Roman?
Yes.
Strano?
No, I don't think so.
Blaine?
Yes.
Medina?
Yes.
Hickey?
Yes.
Mrs. Yamakitis?
Yes. Okay, go ahead.
The Code and Construction Department has issued 287 permits, 86 certificates, and generated $73,829 for the month of April 22. And I just want to say, the Code and Construction Department works very hard, and we appreciate your hard work, because your door is always opening, and thank you for everything that you do. As far as IT, we're working on having cameras work and installed in Dobson Park. G Suite is installed except for Code and Construction. They're still going through training with Mitch Humphreys. And I just want to say to some of the Sixth Ward constituents, I am going to be your new councilwoman. I will be walking with Councilman John Roman Francis to introduce myself once I get this boot off my foot. I've been a little incapacitated. However, I just want you to know that you could reach out to me at 908-531-0676. My email is mcaldwell@lindennewjersey.org. And again, as Councilman Javits stated, we will have a garage sale June 11th for the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd and 6th Ward, and June 25th will be the rain date. And I just want to ask everyone on Maple Avenue, could you please slow down? There are kids riding their bikes by the PAL. I know that, everybody's in a rush to get somewhere. My son was hit in 2019 in Linden. My son is living. Everybody's not going to get that story. Please slow down. And also, the numbers for COVID are going up slowly, so just be careful. That concludes my report, Council President. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Councilman Mohammed.
Thank you, Council President. Good evening, everyone. Although I've been undergoing medical treatment recently, I'd like you to know two things.
Councilman, can you turn your mic on, please? Thanks.
I'll repeat, although I've been undergoing medical treatment recently, I'd like you to know two things. By the grace of God, I feel wonderful, and number two, the Fourth Ward has received the attention it deserves in my absence. Also, I thank the vigilant members of the Fourth Ward and vigilant members of the city. I was in another 3 time zones away and got a call at 4 o'clock in the morning. I said, the city of Linden burning, found out it was someone from the chaplaincy department asked me to participate in some activity, and even people calling for summer jobs. Thanks to my friends and neighbors for your prayers, well wishes, and sharing your comments and concerns regarding our neighborhood. Hattie Johnson Park has gotten some much-needed attention, such as leaf removal, grass cutting, and the trimming up of low-hanging branches. Weeds are being removed and fresh mulch is being added inside the climbing toy area. Great job by our Department of Community Service. Just a friendly reminder, this park is a kiddie space for age 10 and under, accompanied by an adult. There's plenty of open space within our ward in the city for our adolescents and young adults to hang, but this isn't one of them. I'm delighted to be back in action. Look forward to seeing you, and I'd like to congratulate Ms. Mackenzie Sullivan, that was confirmed in the Holy Roman Catholic Church, and we were visited by the Cardinal, which is a huge thing for those who know Catholicism, Cardinal Tobin. With Godspeed to all, and again, I'm happy to be back. I felt your prayers and your good spirits. God bless you all, and God bless America. God bless Linden.
Okay, thank you, Councilman. Okay, Councilwoman Cosme asked to be excused for the rest of the evening. We're going to move on to Councilman Roman.
Thank you, Council President. I do have a lengthy report. I'll ask for more time if it happens. Good evening, Linden. I just want to start by saying I hope you all had a wonderful Mother's Day with your families. I want to get right into it and try to speed through this so I don't get cut off. Previous council people announced the 5th annual, this will be the 5th annual 6th Ward garage sale on June 11th. 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 6th Ward will be doing it same time, same date. Hopefully we get a lot of good traffic for you guys so you can sell a lot of your stuff. If anyone wants to be on that list for the 6th Ward, please call me, 908-494-5784, and I'll add you to the list. We'll do the 5th annual 6th Ward cleanup the day after June 12th. Many of you have probably noticed some of the upgrades happening at the train station bridge. Finally, after many years, as reported to us by Jerry Bishop yesterday, Amtrak has agreed to do some of the work on the bridge that they own. And it's really starting to look good, so I'd like to thank Mayor Armstead, the Department of Community Services, Jerry Bishop, and everyone else involved for their persistence on this. I know it is taxing to work with some of these agencies sometimes. This year we'll be cleaning various portions of the 6th Ward, as we always do, train station area, the Hampton and Smith area, and Wheeler Park. So I hope to see you there at 10 a.m. June 12th at the train station parking lot. 6th Ward road paving projects, we just passed a resolution earlier tonight for 6th Ward paving. I know that the gas companies and water companies eat up your streets when they do this work, and it takes some time for them to put it back, or for us to receive the money from them to do a project. But we will be doing all of Clinton Street from Linden Ave to 1 and 9, as well as East Stimson, Cedar, Union, Liberty, in between Clinton and Wood Avenue, and then also Wood Place, which I'm excited about because it really needs it down there. We chose these streets with engineering because these are ones that really need it in the 6th Ward. And next time I'm allotted money for the 6th Ward paving, I will look at the rest of the streets. Another round of sidewalks are being done. If you have sidewalks uprooted by a city tree or anything or in disrepair, please call me immediately and I'll take a look at them. This is a time-sensitive thing. 6th Ward traffic. 2 weeks ago, I spent a few hours with Lieutenant Ian Conk, who recently took over the traffic division. Mr. Conk is acutely aware of the issues in the 6th Ward as he spent his career in and around our neighborhood. I will continue to work with the traffic department and through the accident review committee in order to help the 6th Ward with things like truck traffic, the speeding on our through streets, and pedestrian safety. Hampton and Smith, as I reported last month, we just voted on an ordinance changing the zoning on the properties behind Hampton, nearest Rebecca, and 1 and 9, which are in the properties that are in the process of getting redeveloped. The ones across the street from Walmart, essentially, on Pleasant. The developers, also the owner of Legacy Square, asked for that zoning change through our zoning board and through this council, namely to allow for an animal hospital or self-storage over there. I've spoken with a lot of the residents over there. Everyone was okay with these things. These properties haven't been utilized in years since GM was open, but they're okay with those things because they have low traffic. Self-storage, animal hospital, they're low traffic things. There's not gonna be trucks going in and out all day long. So I'll cut to that. I think that's about it. Besides, I just want to say tonight, as you may have caught on, this is going to be Councilwoman Hickey's final council meeting. Councilwoman Hickey has served on city council since 2015. However, I met her way before that because of her dedication to Linden's September Remember Festival. Gretchen, I know that there has never been another council candidate with pure intentions for their residents than you. I also know that the people in this political world haven't always been fair to you. I know this because I was with you. However, you indemnify what it is to be from Linden. With grit and hard work and compassion, you have continued to be the model councilwoman for my mother, for my father, and all the residents in Linden's 10th Ward. Linden is truly at a loss without you being on this council. It's been a few long years with COVID, Hurricane Ida, and other events out of our control, but we here in Linden are a close-knit community, and that has made us strong, and we will always do better by working together. So I just want to say that I'm very thankful for the opportunity to represent you on City's Council and represent up here with my colleagues. So if anyone needs me, please reach out to me. My cell phone number is 908-494-5784. Find me on Facebook, Linden 6 Warders, or John Francis Roman. Thank you, Council President.
Thank you, Councilman. Okay, Councilman Strano?
Thank you, Council President. Good evening, everybody. Council President, I may need a few more minutes.
Yes, with your personnel report.
Going through
Yeah.
this, I got 2 pages on this personnel report. Starting off in the Office of the Mayor, A is the approval of posting for the positions of management specialist that will go out to the contiguous counties. Number 2 is in the Recreation Department, is the approval of the appointment of Eloise Orange, a recreation leader part-time at the annual salary of $15 per hour, not to exceed 19 and a half hours per week, effective May 26, 2022, subject to successful completion of the city's pre-employment requirements. B is approval of the seasonal list on file with the city clerk's office. 3, in the Treasury Department, approval of the city to enroll in the Union County College paid intern program as established by and consistent with the Union County College program. Pursuant to the Union County College program, the city approves the hourly rate of $15 per hour for any intern appointed by the city through this program. Number 4 is in the Construction Code, approving the posting for the position of a Clerk 1 full-time. B is to approve the change in compensation method for Markel Parker, a code enforcement officer, from part-time to full-time, which will be effective May 18, 2022, at the hourly rate of $18 per hour. C is to approve the change in compensation method for Thomas Gasser, code enforcement officer, from part-time to full-time, effective May 18, 2022, at the hourly rate of $18 per hour. 5, in the Board of Health, approve the amending of the date of hire for Paulo Rosario Zia, registered environmental health specialist, to May 9th of 2022. B is to approve the appointment of Kimberly Ulisse, COVID generalist, full-time, effective June 6, 2022, at the annual salary of $42,000, subject to the successful completion of the city's pre-employment requirements. C is to accept the resignation in good standing of Tamira Luguardo, COVID generalist, effective May 11th of 2022. D is to approve to post for 1 full-time COVID generalist, and E is to approve to post for 1 part-time registered environmental health specialist. Moving on, 6, in the Office of the Tax Collector, approving the resignation in good standing of Deidre Green, Clerk 3, effective June 2nd, 2022, and B is to approve for the post for the position of a Clerk 1. 7, in the Engineering Department, and this may read differently than what everybody has in their hands, but it's the approving the appointment of Alexander Stepkowitz as an intern, full-time, for the period commencing on May 23rd of 2022 and ending August 31st of 2022 at the hourly rate of $15 per hour. 8, in the Police Department, is to approve the amending of the number of police recruits from 3 to 4 due to a resignation. B is to approve the hiring of 2 candidates from the attached list as computer service technicians full-time at the annual salary of $50,000, effective June 1st, 2022, subject to the successful completion of the city's pre-employment requirements. C is to approve the resignation in good standing for Michael Roxbury, a computer services technician, effective May 13th of 2022. 9, in the Division of Public Works, is to approve the resignation in good standing of Daniel Frankel, laborer, effective April 29th of 2022. B is to approve the appointment of Derek Lewis, laborer, full-time, effective May 26, 2022, at the hourly rate of $17 per hour, subject to successful completion of the city's pre-employment requirements. C is to approve the appointment of Sean Rikatsinis, laborer, full-time, effective May 26, 2022, at the hourly rate of $17, subject to the successful completion of the city's pre-employment requirements. D is to approve the provisional appointment of Naeem Myers, mechanics helper, full-time, effective May 18, 2022, at the hourly rate of $18. 10 is in the Department of Law, approving the change in compensation method for Mohammed S. Jalla, Esquire, Assistant Municipal Attorney and Assistant Municipal Prosecutor, to $17,667, effective May 18th of 2022. 11 is the Division of Personnel, approving the city's summer help citywide list on file in Division of Personnel. B is the FMLA, NJ FMLA list on file in the Division of Personnel. C is approve the smoke-free environment policy, the vehicle policy, and a drug and alcohol policy. I just have to take a sidebar on this for 1 second before I ask for approval, Council President.
That's
right, thank you. I move for approval of the personnel report. Request a second.
Second.
Mrs. Ormond?
Yes.
Javik?
Yes.
Caldwell?
Yes.
Mohammed?
Yes.
Roman?
Yes.
Strano?
Yes.
Blaine?
Yes.
Medina?
Yes.
Hickey?
Yes.
Mrs. Yemakaitis?
Yes. Go
Okay,
ahead,
here we go. I got some word business that I have to put up here. First, I want to mention that the 7th Ward will be holding a ward-wide, not just Trimley Point, yard sale, fees waived, across the ward this weekend, Saturday the 21st and Sunday the 22nd. Anyone wanting to register and be on the map that my wife is putting together for participants can email me at rstrano@linden-nj.gov, or they can leave a message on my home phone number at 908-862-5097. Those maps will have the locations of all the houses that have yard sales, so what you'll be doing is advertising for your fellow participants, and this way people will have know where they can go to, because 7th Ward is kind of split up between, with a big park between Trimley Point and the other two districts. Also, I want to mention, I don't know if anybody heard or knows about this, but tomorrow night, or tomorrow evening at Firehouse 1 is the last free rabies clinic for your cats and dogs. Cats must be in a carrier, and dogs must be on a leash. It's free. Please get your animals vaccinated. I guess you could put if you have a small dog, it could be in a carrier as well. And no cats on leashes. I also want to remind everyone that June 7th, before our next council meeting, we're going to be having a primary election in the state of New Jersey for all those partisan elections. Although we've been very fortunate, the slate this year does not have any opposition. It's the first time since I can't remember when, but I just want you to know that your elected officials appreciate all those people when they see that, the people come out and vote, have faith in the system, faith in our government, which is hard to come by these days. Your elected officials, people appreciate that. And we just want you to remind everybody that, or I shouldn't say everybody, but I think Councilwoman Ormond mentioned that due to the census numbers that came out, that the ward boundaries have been jockeyed around, and for the first time in my recollection, I now have stolen some voters from Councilman Blaine in the 8th Ward. The ward boundary now goes clear across the refinery and captures a couple of the streets that are formerly in the 8th Ward. I know that's an inconvenience. Those people will have to drive all the way down to the 1st District voting place, which is the rec building on the corner of Trimley Point Road and Main Street. I apologize for that inconvenience, but just be understanding that the council people do not have any control over where those ward lines are drawn. That's up to the Board of Elections and some other officials that do not include your elected council people. Moving on, I want to mention that as the chairman of the Linden Department of Community Services, which incorporates our engineering department, our buildings and grounds, and our public works department, that we are in the midst of the month that includes the week that recognizes the public workers throughout probably the country, I would say. I want to recognize all those hardworking guys. They're unsung employees, and especially, across the board, I really appreciate the work that our department does and the job that all of them from the top right on down perform for the city of Linden. They don't wear badges, but without their services and those departments they do wouldn't be as efficient as they are serving the residents of our city. June 3rd, moving on, we have Blue Acres properties, these are properties that were put in perpetual clear cut, where they removed houses that were flooded during Sandy storm. And those properties have been put into like a natural state. But of course, we also had rain gardens planted there. And this Friday, coming next Friday, June 3rd, there will be a cleanup. It's facilitated by, a couple seconds, all right, Michelle? Our Public Works will be aided by Phillips 66 and their employees. They'll be supplying us with, gloves and some tools or whatever, and our Public Works will be also working hand in glove with them. And I'll be out there, and if anybody's interested in participating, usually they start mustering around 10 a.m. We'll give out gloves, I think, shirts, T-shirts, I think, and maybe safety glasses and things of that nature, so that nobody gets injured by a wild weed. I just want to mention that I voted no against those streetlights, and I just was handed, the justification for them, and some of it is just relighting, but we have to remember that these things are paid for. They're not free. And every month there's a charge for those lights, whether they're on or not. We pay for those lights. And it's my ward, and without any explanation, I wasn't, without even being included, I wasn't going to vote for it. But in any case, it passed, and they will be, handled. Some of them were on, I think, Route 27, which is St. George Avenue, and the other ones, as mentioned, were on Route 1 and 9 in the area of Avenue C. So, in any case, they were approved. And that concludes my report, Council President. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Councilman Blaine?
Thank you, Council President. As Chairman of Parks and Recreation, I'd like to just acknowledge some of the events that's taken place. We have Kids Night at the park coming up this Saturday from 12 to 4. It's going to be at Wilson Park. And at 3 o'clock, bring your kids out, and at 3 o'clock, the Linden Fire Department is going to have a tug-of-war event, so that should be a good event to come out and have the community reconnect, especially with COVID being the way it is. And as we talk about COVID, again, the numbers are on the rise again, so let's do our due diligence and make sure we wear masks, we're appropriate, and just be aware. There's the Polish Marathon taking place on May 12th at School 1, starting at 7:30. There's a ribbon cutting in the second ward at the dog park and Lexington Park that starts at 11 a.m. And Councilman already talked about having a few special guests there, so bring your dog out and come and join us, and let's have lots of fun. PAL ball field light pole projects is done, so the lights will be up and running. We had, over in the 8th Ward, we had trees planted at Wileski Park. We had a fence replaced over at McGilvery and some cleanup shrubbery that was done over in that area as well. There's the park renovations, if you will, that were supposed to take place at Wilson, Veteran, St. Mark's, and all the other parks around the city is still going forward, but there was a slight of delay because those contracts had to go back out to bid. So that's still going to happen, but just understand that there's been some delays in that. Just as a citywide note, in talking to the police department, we've had 22 motor vehicles that were stolen, 14 were left open, 5 were left running with fobs in them. So let's make sure if you're going to leave your car running, just don't do it. Don't leave the fobs in the car. It just doesn't make much sense. Also in the 8th Ward, I am aware of on Allen Street and 109, the speeding that's going on over there, but that's a problem throughout the entire city. And I ride motorcycles, and one of the things I'm very leery of is around this time with all the kids graduating and kids getting new cars and stuff, remember to re-educate your children, especially that is just beginning to drive, to leave the cell phones alone, you know, drive the speed limit, both hands on the wheel. You're a new driver. Listen, there's a lot to learn. You're young, you're just getting out there. Vehicles can hurt and kill people, so let's be mindful of that, and let's make our city safe. Crossing guards, the police department is still looking for crossing guards, so those of you who may be retired or just need to get out the house and need some extra work, there's crossing guards that are still needed in the traffic bureau, so sign up for that. So as Memorial Day comes up, again, you've heard Councilwoman Ormond say, you know, everyone likes to have fun, and we like the family to come over, and nothing like having a little bit of music in your backyard, but be mindful of your neighbors. Let's be neighborly. At a certain time, let's turn the music down. You can have fun, but hey, listen, there's some people that do work on Saturday nights and Sunday mornings, so turn the music down and you know, be respectful, because we all have to live in here in Linden together. And on that note, I'd like to say Happy Memorial Day to everyone, and my heart goes out and want to send condolences to the family of those who was lost in the Buffalo shooting, as well as in California. Linden is no stranger to terrorism, but when things like that happen across this nation, we all feel it, and we all a part of it. So let's do our fair share and send our condolences. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Blaine. Councilman Medina?
Thank you, Council President. Good evening, everyone. I do have a report. Council President might go over by 30 seconds or so, but I'll try to speed us through. I want to update the community on a few highlights. First, I want to address the water company project on Yellen Harbor. I've been receiving a ton of calls on the roads and the condition of the road. Again, it's only 2 roads that they're upgrading the water line and reinstalling new meters that are going on the curbs. It's a necessary evil to improve our infrastructure, so I just ask folks to be patient. I did submit the complaints to engineering, and I emailed engineering requesting information if the GC is going to return just to repair or restore the sidewalks and grassy part of the sidewalk where these new meters were installed. So I just ask folks just continue to be patient. I know it looks bad. It's terrible to drive on. As you can see throughout the entire city, there's a lot of infrastructure work, so which is just going to benefit everyone in the long run. Sidewalk projects were completed in the 9th Ward just a few weeks ago, went really well. I believe there's a second phase that's coming down the pipe, I believe in the summer. So if you do have a sidewalk that's damaged by city trees, lifted, cracked, or whatnot, give me a call, and I would love to add it to the list. My list is always growing. I'm happy to announce Burwood will be paved this year. I believe in a couple of weeks, I believe they were marked already, and they're just waiting for the GC. Burwood is off of Raverton Road. It's a dead-end street, 1-block road that hasn't been touched in many, many years. So those residents down there are excited to see the road get paved. They feel like they haven't been left out. So, and again, there's many more roads that I've submitted. I submitted my wish list, so we just have to be patient. I submitted a really, really long wish list. And everything that we do in the 9th Ward, even just Sunnyside, comes out of our capital budget. So I thank folks for just being patient and working with the council, not only myself, but council, to improve the infrastructure in our community. Just recently, yesterday, we painted some curbs in the 9th Ward. We had some trouble intersections where cars are parking dangerously close to the intersection, creating or causing some accidents and blind spots where cars can't see when they're crossing. So traffic and sign department went out there and painted some curbs. They haven't finished, so they will be back out hopefully tomorrow or sometime this week just to complete those curves. And when I mean paint, they repaint the yellow, because a lot of the time they do fade out and they need to be retouched. High grass complaint, it is the season. I received a ton of complaints. I actually submitted a lot to our Board of Health. They have been doing an amazing job. Some complaints that I do receive, I don't submit them all, because I like to try to make contact with the homeowner, like, see what's going on. Maybe they might need some help, maybe something is going on at home, I don't know. So the last thing they want is a summons from the city if they're going through a tough time and whatnot. And I do try to help where I can. If I need to find a landscaper or someone that could do something pro bono or do something at a really, really low rate until they get back on their feet. This past weekend, I was honored by Ansha Hesed, which is the shul on Orchard Terrace. I was honored that the mayor was able to attend with his wife on Sunday, and the mayor and Rabbi Katz presented me with the community award. So, Mayor, thank you again. You know, it was great to see a lot of familiar faces, but, you know, the entire council, you know, not everyone can make it on a Sunday, so I appreciate the council's support and their wishes, but it really was great to see the mayor come out with his wife and show support and present me with the award. So thank you so much for that, Mayor. You know, and lastly, I wasn't going to say anything because I was going to defer my comments to next month when our wonderful councilwoman returns. But I know Councilman Roman kind of started it, but Councilwoman, it is, I have to look at you, It is heartbreaking to see you leave the dais, and we all go through issues in life, and I understand where you have to go. But I take comfort that we forged a real relationship. We actually have a true friendship. And that's the thing that gives me comfort. So we're still gonna hang out. We're still gonna, you know, enjoy a burger or a dog or whatever.
Your 43 coffees?
And my 43 cups of coffee. So that brings me great comfort. And you have done such an amazing job for your ward. And your people love you in that ward. And they also love you out of the 9th ward as well. So we work so well together, and we've done so much for the community. I can't even list it all. I probably need another half hour to list them all, but thank you. And you will be missed sitting here on my right-hand side. Thank you very much. That concludes my report. Anyone needs to reach me, 908-986-6100. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilwoman Hickey.
Thank you, everybody. He wasn't supposed to do that before I started speaking, and John as well, but thank you for all the kind words, because, you know, it's not easy. First, I'm going to thank the Finance Committee and Alexis and for putting a wonderful budget together. I'm starting off like this so I could clear up my tears a little. It's amazing to see how many programs that we have in Linden, how wonderful it is. I feel so embarrassed, I should just wait. As many of you know, it's bittersweet. I love Linden, I love being a councilwoman. Unfortunately, things happen in family. My husband and I separated. We're both in good spirits and know we're doing the right thing. It's just hard to change Linden. It'll always be my home. I have to look forward to tomorrow and hopefully dancing with Mike Bono, and, you know, maybe Bobby will sing some songs to me. There's so many people to thank, you know, up here. And, you know, just because you cry a little doesn't mean that you're weak. It means you have compassion, you have feeling. And I always dove into being a councilwoman with full forward. And a lot of us up here, we've had our moments over the years, believe me. And probably some of them are because of what was going on in my home or somebody else's home. But at the end of the day, I thought back today and I said, you know, we had a lot of great times too. We can disagree up here, but we can go to an event, or I can have something at my home or so forth, and we still agree to disagree. And somehow, I don't know how, because some of us have been vicious to each other over the years, but we've found a way to always move on. And we know it stems from other things and our passion for the community and for Linden. It's been a roller coaster. My constituents, not just in the 10th Ward, in the entire city, just unbelievable. Just the remarks I received on Facebook. I didn't even know so many people really cared about me and loved me. I've been in, you know, kind of laying low for a while. But my son and I are going to be starting new in Roway. We are very excited. You know, we have the theater, we have the downtown neighborhood. But like I said, Linden will always be my home, and I will always be back here. Who knows, maybe down the road, the mayor want to hire somebody just to do events. I don't want any political affiliation anymore. I just want to do what I love, and that's being with people and helping people. I've run 4 elections. 3 of them I did well on, and everybody would throw everybody against me. But I worked hard, and I think I didn't write something tonight because everyone knows that I always spoke from the heart. I never write things down. 3 of them were successful, 1 not so much, but I have to tell you, I've learned lessons. I learned so many different things about people, and it was a very, very good experience. And obviously, the mayor is doing a great job right now, and the council, and I always have to look at what's meant to be is meant to be. So, sorry, Mayor, I really wasn't meant to win that election anyway. But anyway, to new beginnings, I'm always a phone call away. The city workers here, and for a while there, I had to have all my secret employees because I wanted to make sure the jobs got done. If I wasn't very well liked at the minute because of my opinions that were sometimes too much, but city employees have been amazing to me. Our first responders, boy, I'm proud of our Linden Police Department, Fire Department, OEM. I could never say enough things about them. And just knowing what we have on those departments makes me know how safe all of our residents are and how lucky we are. We can always look at things about money and this or this one's special, that one's special, but let me tell you, our money and tax dollars are being put towards the best for us. Our Department of Public Works, recreation, the programs, I can't say enough good things. Council President, you've been amazing. I followed in your footsteps from a long time ago. You were always on the floor just like me, let's do this, let's do that. You look amazing, and I'm glad you're feeling well because we need you, Linden needs you. I did always think that you and I would be a good team together, though. Not gonna lie. But anyway, again, thank you from the bottom of my heart. I truly appreciate all of you and the council.
Okay, thank you, Councilwoman. Okay, I have a short report from the Linden Library. On Saturday, May 28th, they're going to have a therapeutic toys and games for children, how to have fun with toys and games. Anna Latona, an occupational therapist assistant who works in Linden Public Schools, will talk about the therapeutic benefits of toys and games that children already own. Practical tips will be offered to parents, grandparents, caregivers, anyone that's interested. The objective is to enhance and increase children's socialization, fine and gross motor skills, as well as visual and perceptual skills, while still having fun. This will be offered from 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. on the 3rd floor on May 28th. The genealogy presentation was rescheduled to June 27th. Preserving your family's history. All this information is available on the website. I would also like to take this opportunity to wish Councilwoman Hickey all the best in her future endeavors. You have served the residents of the 10th Ward during your tenure on council. I wish you nothing but the best. I know you are moving, but I know that your heart will always be in Linden. And I'm not going to say any more because we'll all be a mess up here. So. That concludes my report. Mayor Armstead?
Yes, good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
First, I'd like to talk about the budget. I'd like to thank our Department of Finance and the council members that we have here for working so hard, for sharing a vision of having 0 tax increases. Now, for those of you who don't know, this is the 5th consecutive year that we haven't raised taxes here in the city of Linden. That being said, I'd like to congratulate the Board of Education as they worked on their budget this week also, and they gave us a zero increase as well. This is their 4th year of having a zero increase, and I'm proud to say that I've worked very close with those members on the board, and I'm responsible for some of them getting elected, and I'm very thankful that they're committed and they share the same vision that we should not have any tax increases, especially now that people have been laid off and we're going through this COVID crisis. So, and also, while I'm thanking people, I want to thank the members of the Linden Roselle Sewage Authority, of which I'm a member, and this is our 6th consecutive year without a rate increase. So again, we are committed, this governing body is committed to holding the line on taxes. We've been working very hard to bring in ratables, and those ratables allow us to do what we do. You know, it's no secret if you drive through Linden, you'll see all kinds of new development going on. And I tell people, if you see the development that's in the center of town, it pales in comparison to what I have going on the other side of the Turnpike. If you go all the way down Wood Avenue and cross over the New Jersey Turnpike, you'll see that there's developments down there as well. And it's these developments it is these developments that are allowing us to balance our budget and in the next 10 to 15 years, in the foreseeable future, Linden is in very good shape financially because of these developments. And I want the homeowners to know that this didn't happen by happenstance. It wasn't, we didn't wave a magic wand. We worked very hard to make sure that our residents would be able to afford to stay here in Linden. And we worked hard to make sure that the business community that supports us as well are able to stay here. So again, I want to thank the council and governing body for the hard work and supporting the agenda that I've been trying to push, and that is a zero tax increase. We hope to continue with that over the next couple of years. Secondly, I'm going to move right along here. As mentioned by the 7th Ward councilman, every 10 years the census, they change our lines, and he wound up having some individuals, part of his ward wound up on the other side of the refinery. But I want to let him know that Joe Bodak and myself have been working very hard with the Board of Elections to see to it that those people who've been added to Ralph's ward don't have to travel all the way across town. We're going to try to have them be allowed to vote where they have always voted, and that's over in Michelle's district at the 8th Ward Community Center. So we're working on that, Ralph, so you can communicate that information to your constituents, okay? I'd like to recognize our men and women who work for the Department of Public Works. This is the National, I guess, Public Works Month. They do a fine job for us. Again, we have police and fire. They do a great job for us, but I think sometimes the Department of Public Works goes unnoticed. They're the people who really get the job done. When a tree, if there's a hurricane or a storm, you see these guys out, they come out immediately and they work. And sometimes they work in some very hazardous conditions, okay? So we thank them for their hard work because, listen, I don't know a councilman in this room who would be here if he didn't have the Department of Public Works backing them up when they put requests in. So thank you all for the great job that you do. And again, I didn't really prepare a real report, a good report. I'm kind of like winging it tonight. As mentioned earlier, we have Kids to Park on this Saturday from 1 o'clock p.m. to 4 o'clock p.m. Now, Kids to Park is a program it's a national program. The purpose of a Kids to Park program is you're trying to get kids off of their handheld devices. You want them to get out and enjoy themselves and be active. Over the last couple of years, because of COVID, we weren't able to have the kind of activities that we'd like to, so we're looking forward to having it again this year. We're doing something a little different this year. We're going to, after the activities in Wilson Park, we're going to take the kids down to Hawk Rise Sanctuary. And I don't know if everybody knows, we have a Hawk Rise Sanctuary right here in Linden, right in the middle of all this industry. We have, you know, the best of both worlds. We have a sanctuary where you have birds and all kinds of animals. So the kids are going to go down and do a tour there. And that's going to last from about 5:30 to 8:30. So I think it's going to be a great day for the kids. This last weekend, May 9th, the Police Unity Tour came through Linden. We had over 600 bikes that came in through town. The purpose of the Unity Tour is to recognize those police officers who gave their lives on September 11th. And we are, I think as a nation, we're obligated to be reminded of what happened on that day and those people who gave their lives so that we could be safe. Many of them, as you know, when others were running out, many of them were running in to try to help, and many lost their lives. So we should never forget. We should never forget that. And I'm very thankful that the Unity Tour comes here to Linden, and it just reminds us of just how important our police department is to us. That being said, this weekend we had an interfaith service at St. Elizabeth, where the theme was why it's important to have good relations with our police department and the community. And I think here in Linden, I think we have a very special situation here in Linden. The lion's share of our police officers have grown up in this town. We know they know the families, and they do a very good job. Time and time again, I get reports just from John Q. Public of how the police department, when they stopped them, were courteous in their conduct. One lady even told me they wrote me a ticket, but they were so nice. So that speaks volumes. I think I always tell the police department, and Michelle, bear with me because we've been away for a long time. I always tell police officers that they have such power, they don't know how much power they have. Not only do they have the power to enforce law, they have the power to influence people. You know, you can turn the TV on and you'll see one police officer doing something wrong, and it just paints the whole institution with a bad paintbrush. So I tell police officers, you have the power to win and influence people. That's more power than you could have with a gun. That's more power than you could have stopping a truck. I said, how you treat people, it's just good to treat people with courtesy and respect, and that is power. And I'm very proud of the police officers that we have. We have a lot of young ones who just started off, and the chief and his command staff. We work very closely with them to try to make sure they understand that this is not just go out and lock up the bad guys, but you're here to do a service in our community. And thank God that we have a group of young men and some old ones like me on that force who really put their heart and soul and do the right thing in our department. Sunday we had a program as this month is Pacific Islander Asian American Heritage Month, and as we do with everybody, we acknowledge everybody. So we had a ribbon cutting here. It was scheduled to be on City Hall steps, but because of inclement weather, we decided to move it into the JTG Center, and it was best that we did because they were able to put their displays out of various things that are involved in the Asian culture, and it went over very well. And we look forward to including them into our activities on an annual basis. Also, this weekend we had the Haitian flag raising event. I'll say that's something that we do also. We've been doing that since 2013, and again, it's part of what we do here in Linden to try to recognize. Linden is like the 9th most diverse city in the state, so we try to recognize all peoples that we have here. We want everybody to know that for many, we have strength because we have so many different people coming into our town, and that's America. That's the American story. So. Also, on 5/22, coming up from 9 o'clock to 12, we're going to have the Polish-American Sports 5K Run. It's going to showcase 2 Polish Olympians. They'll be here. So we urge everybody to come and sign up. It's going to be a good day to go running. I'll be walking, but it'll be a good day for everybody else to run. Moving right along. I want to say congratulations to Matt Cozio. He's the son of former Second Ward Councilman Rich Cozio. On his first recorded album, and the name of his album is called Wild Horse. And for those of you who are my age, know they don't have albums anymore. They just download them to your phone now. Don't go to your handheld device. So don't go looking for a 45. Some of you guys, okay. They're not plastic anymore, okay? Moving right along, we got a lot of stuff here. Oh, great news. We got a call from the DEP, actually a correspondence from the DEP this week. They are drilling and boring holes to do environmental tests in the Trimley Point area. As many of you may know, there is a proposed Turnpike Connector Road that's going to be coming to Linden. Now, this Turnpike Connector Road, with all the things that are going on down there, the idea here is to take trucks off the street. And we have a lot of trucks that are riding down Wood Avenue. Of course, we have a residential area there. The idea here is to have a connector road, so these trucks can come in without disrupting the residents of our town and reducing I guess the danger of trucks coming through cities like Linden. So finally, I mean, this has been on the books since 1979. I mean, if you could read an article from 1979, you could actually change the names to protect the innocent. It'd be, you know, it's the same. We've been working on this since 1979, but finally, something is happening. So we're very happy with that. Opioid settlement. Oh, it's more good news. Our legal department has been working to secure grant money and funding through an opioid settlement, and I'm very thankful that Tracy Cosby caught this opportunity. Last minute, we had to do like a special council meeting over the phone just to give her approval, and we are going to receive some significant dollars, and those dollars will be used to create awareness and to help prevent people from being addicted to opioids. So I want to thank you for your hard work. And well, she says my corporation too, but she did all the work. No, but thank you so much, and we look forward to receiving those monies, and we will use them properly. It was mentioned earlier that there's still some vacancies at the Junior Police Academy. Please sign up. It's a great program. All my children have participated in both the Police and Fire Academy, and it's a very rewarding experience. I would recommend it to anybody's children. So if you have children, I believe it's from the 6th to 8th grade, Chief, sign them up. I mean, there's a few spots left. You know, get them while they're hot, okay? That's a great thing. As I look out in the audience, I see I have John Watkins from Social Services here. Shine the camera on everybody. No, just kidding. No. Well, I'd like to make an announcement this evening. John Watkins, his office is on Southwood Avenue. It's in the old City Hall. It's in a very undesirable place. It's in the lower extremities of the building. It's damp, mildewy, and we've decided that we're going to move John out of that building. We're going to be moving him to the new development on St. George Avenue and into a nice new office. We have appropriated the money in the budget. And John, so you will be, I can't say the exact date, but we're working out the details right now, but we will be moving John and social services out of that office to a better location where he can service the community. So, and the beauty of it is that on St. George Avenue, people can access it through the bus service. So there's a way they can get there if they don't have regular transportation, or their own transportation. Moving right along. Okay, I got a lot of stuff here, but I'm almost done. Okay, so I can say last, but certainly not least. Okay. Tonight, we will be accepting the resignation of our 10th Ward Councilwoman, Gretchen Hickey. My relationship over the years has been diverse politically, as we always seem to be on opposing sides of an issue. And I must admit, she was a formidable opponent. As her political career as a councilwoman comes to an end here in Linden, I want her to know, and I am hopeful she feels the same way. It was simply politics and nothing personal. Gretchen, I wish you good health and happiness as you begin your new chapter in your life. On behalf of the council, residents you serve in the 10th Ward, and the city of Linden, we thank you for your services, and may God bless you and your family as you move on. You're welcome. That concludes my report. Thank you, Council Presidents, for your patience.
Thank you, Mayor. Okay, we're going to now move on to resolutions. Okay, we have resolutions 2022-192 through 2022-2020. Okay, can I have a motion, please?
Council President, I'd like to make a motion to pass resolutions 2022-190 through 2022-220, and I ask for a second.
Second.
Mrs. Ormond?
Yes.
Javik?
Yes.
Caldwell?
Yes.
Mohammed?
Yes.
Roman?
Yes.
Blaine?
Yes.
How about me? Strano says yes.
Blaine,
Yes.
Medina,
Yes.
Hickey,
She just stepped away for a minute.
Mrs. Yemakaitis.
Yes. Ugh. We must have a full moon. Joe's never done that. Okay, we're gonna move on to ordinances on first reading, beginning with ordinance 6636.
An ordinance to amend an ordinance entitled, an ordinance establishing a schedule of titles, salary ranges, and regulations for maintaining the classification and salary standardization plan of all employees of the city of Linden, passed August 15th, 1995, and approved August 16th, 1995. Add Schedule 4QQ4.
Okay, can we have a motion for introduction of ordinance 6636, please?
Yes, Council President, I'd like to introduce I'd like to, move for introduction of ordinance 6636 and request a second.
Second.
Ormond?
Yes.
Javik?
Yes.
Caldwell?
Yes.
Mohammed?
Yes.
Roman?
Yes.
Strano?
Yes.
Blaine?
Yes.
Medina?
Yes.
Hickey?
She stepped away.
Mrs. Yemakaitis?
Yes. Okay, ordinance 6637, please.
An ordinance to amend and supplement Chapter 5 Animal Control of an ordinance entitled, an ordinance adopting and enacting the revised general ordinances of the City of Linden, 1999, passed November 23rd, 1999, and approved November 24th, 1999, and as amended and supplemented. Be it ordained by the Council of the City of Linden, Section 1, Chapter 5, entitled Animal Control, Section 3, entitled Vicious Dogs, shall be deleted in its entirety and replaced as follows. The complete ordinance is on file in the city clerk's office.
Okay, can we have a motion for introduction of ordinance 6637, please?
Council President, I move to introduce ordinance 66-37 and ask for a second.
Second.
Ormond?
Yes.
Javik?
Yes.
Caldwell?
Yes.
Mohammed?
Yes.
Roman?
Yes.
Strano?
Yes.
Blaine?
Yes.
Medina?
Yes.
Mrs. Yemakaitis?
Yes. Ordinance 6638, please.
An ordinance to amend and supplement Chapter 5 Animal Control of an ordinance entitled, an ordinance adopting and enacting the revised general ordinances of the City of Linden, 1999, passed November 23rd, 1999, and approved November 24th, 1999, and as amended and supplemented. Be it ordained by the Council of the City of Linden, Section 1, Chapter 5, entitled Animal Control, Section 4, entitled Violations, shall be amended to read as follows. Any person who shall violate the provisions of subsection 5-1.2 shall be liable to a penalty of not less than $5, nor more than $50 for the first offense, and not less than $25, nor more than $50 for each subsequent offense, to be recovered in a manner provided by NJSA 4:19-15.19 at sequence. Any person who shall violate any provisions of this chapter shall be subjected to the provisions of subsection 1-5.1 of the general ordinances of the City of Linden.
Okay, can we have a motion for introduction of ordinance 6638, please?
Council President, I'd like to make a motion to introduce ordinance 66-38, and I request a second.
Second.
Ormond?
Yes.
Javik?
Yes.
Caldwell?
Yes.
Mohammed?
Yes.
Roman?
Yes.
Strano?
Yes.
Blaine?
Yes.
Medina?
Yes.
Mrs. Yemakaitis?
Yes. Ordinance 6639, please.
An ordinance amending the redevelopment plan for the Southwood Avenue redevelopment project pursuant to the local redevelopment and housing law, NJSA 12A-1 at sequence.
Okay, can we have a motion for introduction, please?
Yes, I'd like to make a motion to introduce ordinance 66-39 and ask for a second, please.
Second.
Ormond?
Yes.
Javik?
Yes.
Caldwell?
Yes.
Mohammed?
Yes.
Roman?
Yes.
Strano?
Yes.
Blaine?
Yes.
Medina?
Yes.
Mrs. Yemakaitis?
Yes. Ordinance 6640.
Bond ordinance authorizing various capital improvements for the Division of Engineering, appropriating the issuance of $4,950,500 in bonds or notes to finance part of the cost thereof.
Okay, can we have a motion for introduction of ordinance 6640, please?
Council President, I move 6640 for introduction and request a second.
Second.
Ormond?
Yes.
Javik?
Yes.
Caldwell?
Yes.
Mohammed?
Yes.
Roman?
Yes.
Strano?
Yes.
Blaine? Medina?
Yes.
Mrs. Yamakaitis?
Yes. Ordinance 6641.
An ordinance to amend and supplement Chapter 7 Traffic of an ordinance entitled, An Ordinance Adopting and Enacting the Revised General Ordinances of the City of Linden, 1999. Passed November 23rd, 1999, and approved November 24th, 1999, and as amended and supplemented. Be it ordained by the Council of the City of Linden, Section 1, that Chapter 7 Traffic, Section 7-34, Don't Block the Box, shall be the same and hereby amended as follows. 7-34.b, add North Style Street and West Blanky Street on the west side.
Okay, can we have a motion for introduction of ordinance 6641, please?
Yes, thank you, Council President. I'd like to make a motion to introduce ordinance 66-41 and ask for a second, please.
Second.
Ormond?
Yes.
Javik?
Yes.
Caldwell?
Yes.
Mohammed?
Yes.
Roman?
Yes.
Strano?
Yes.
Blaine?
Yes.
Medina?
Yes.
Mrs. Yamakaitis?
Yes. Ordinance 6642.
An ordinance to amend and supplement Chapter 7 Traffic of an ordinance entitled, An Ordinance Adopting and Enacting the Revised General Ordinances of the City of Linden, 1999. Passed November 23rd, 1999, and approved November 24th, 1999, and as amended and supplemented. Be it ordained by the Council of the City of Linden that Section 1, Chapter 7 Traffic, Section 7-22, stop intersections shall be in the same as hereby amended as follows. Add Fay Avenue and Hagel Avenue, with the stop sign shall be installed on Fay Avenue on the northeast corner.
Okay, can we have a motion for introduction of ordinance 6642, please?
Yes, Council President, I'd like to make a motion to introduce ordinance 6642 and ask for a second, please.
Second.
Ormond?
Yes.
Javik?
Yes.
Caldwell?
Yes.
Mohammed?
Yes.
Roman?
Yes.
Strano?
Yes.
Blaine?
Yes.
Medina?
Yes.
Mrs. Yamakaitis?
Yes. Okay, we're going to now move on to comments from members of the public in attendance on city business only. No personal, political, or derogatory comments, not to exceed 3 minutes. Okay,
Not to exceed 3 minutes.
I'm going to start with Ed Kaminsky. Please state your name and address for the record.
Good evening, Ed Kaminsky, Maple Avenue. First of all, she stepped out, but Ms. Hickey, just want to give her, she's not my councilwoman, but, you know, I'm not going to repeat everything everybody said, but clearly her heart was with whoever you were, no matter what ward you're in. Always very warm, and quite frankly, I wish there were more Gretchen Hickeys in Linden. I like the word that you used, Councilman Roman, purity. There's no doubt your family probably is one of, when you look at the history of Linden, it's given some of the most, literally, some members their blood for the citizens of Linden. So it's not lost on me. I thank you. And I know you'll do fine in your next stage of your life. Moving to Rawway, kudos to Rawway. Even with some mixed weather, what a wonderful festival they had, Hot Rod and Harleys. And it's just the spirit. If you guys haven't gone down there, I suggest you check it out at what they do. And what I particularly like is the way they integrate their businesses, the Rawway businesses, into what they do down there, which is important. Because to me, it seems like our businesses on Wood Avenue, especially the restaurants, kind of get closed out a little bit when we throw our things. So there's, you know, again, suggest a room for improvement there. Last month, it was brought up that there were some barriers put over, and I'm not even sure which ward it is now. It's off of Academy over there, the little side street that leads into Morningstar. It looks bad. Again, it looks like a barrier in a third world, which was one of the nicest wards or areas of Linden. And the reasoning given was that it is to prevent people from cutting over 15 feet the wrong way down a one-way street. Now, I'm not advocating people do the wrong thing. Let's enforce the laws, okay? Let's get people there to write tickets. Just the other day, twice in one day, I saw people go the wrong way down Price Street. Now, are we going to suggest putting barriers there or all these other one-ways where I've seen, you know, over the last couple of weeks in Linden, people do that? No. So I suggest that not only the money and the aesthetic look that it gives to what's supposed to be a nice area of Linden, that you do something to reverse that and just get that barrier out of there and enforce the laws. We have laws on the books, please. Last month, I was talking about the unfortunate, shooting, mass shooting down in Brooklyn, and how the cameras weren't working there, and it led to a pretty good discussion, and I found out that we have 200, and correct me if I'm wrong, 200 to 250 cameras, but they're in Linden facilities. Like most, I thought that the cameras were in strategic areas. I think if I heard you right, Councilwoman Caldwell, that you're suggesting that some go into Dobson. Well, I heard that they were going in Dobson, and there's even signs that there's cameras in Dobson years ago, before you even came on. So it's like, where is this money going? And I know the same thing happened with Wood Avenue, the corner of Wood Avenue and Elizabeth Avenue. And then after there was a spate of accidents and unfortunately deaths, we're told, oh, they're not working. So I guess my point there is, I saw last month that we put almost $120,000 in garbage cans. There was a post on Facebook where I saw a $20,000 post to promote Nixle. That's $140,000 just in 1 month that we could use to put cameras in some strategic areas to really try to help cut down on crime. And I know I'm past my time. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Okay, Diane Wilverding. Please state your name and address for the record.
Good evening, Diane Wilverding, East Morris Avenue, Linden, New Jersey. I know I mentioned this way back, BC, before COVID, about naming something after Nancy Braxton, some kind of building in the recreation building, so that she's not forgotten. And also Luciano, Gary Luciano. Now, I don't know if that theater over there is considered county property. If it is, then we talk to some of the commissioners. But I really think he needs to be remembered, because he really did got that program started. And I know someone had told me it's usually named after politicians. Well, I think that's self-serving. And also the dumps named after the Messler family. So let's do something for those two people that I think did a great job serving the city. Second thing, I know last month we talked about that magazine that went out, and their Life in Linden is a specific newspaper that comes, not local source, but Life in Linden, that does just Linden. So just wanted to mention that to you. And newspaper dissolves quicker than anything that is laminated. So newspaper should always be the first choice, and it's also cheaper. And then Gretchen, oh my God, I'm going to miss you. Oh, you did such a great job. And good luck in Broadway, but don't forget to drive down the road and cross the border into Linden. I really think you did a wonderful job, and I'm really going to miss you.
That's it. Thank you. Okay. Sandra Masuato? Am I pronouncing that correct? Okay. Please state your name and address correctly.
Hi, good evening. My name is Sandra Mansueto, and I'm from Crescent Parkway.
Go ahead.
It's going to be very difficult. This is the first time I attend something like this, and I'm definitely going to come more often. I've learned a lot. It's very informative. I don't want my question to come across politically incorrect. Where I reside, we are, and I'm sure you're all aware, we're having a large Jewish community come in. They purchased a lot of the homes in the area. They're constantly knocking on doors. I have realtors constantly questioning. And there were 2 homes that were bought because they knocked on the doors and offered cash. And now these 2 homes became Section 8. My question is, I thought that at least the area would be asked. I don't know if it has to go through some type of approval with neighbors. I've called Housing Authority several times and left messages, and to no avail, have received no response. I want to know because the property value, I'm assuming, goes down. There are certain areas that if you look where there are larger communities that have Section 8, the property is not as high as other areas. So I don't know if this is the proper place to ask that question. I have a lot of other questions, but of course, we're all timed, and I will ask in the future. in my other meetings, but I don't know how that works. Do neighbors get informed? Because everything was done so secretive, and that's my concern.
Council President, if I may?
Yes, Councilwoman Hickey, you're on the Housing
Hi,
Authority.
nice to meet you.
Hi, I've met you before because
Yes,
I am from your area.
yes. I'm a little flustered tonight. I met with some residents over in that area. Many people are under the assumption that those homes are Section 8. I have confirmed with the chief that they aren't.
They're not.
They're not. Not on Crescent Parkway, not on,
It's not Crescent Parkway, it's Stockton.
Oh, Stockton.
It's
Oh,
right
no, no,
around the
no.
corner.
I met with the residents there.
Okay.
I met with several of them over on Stockton Circle, because they had the same concerns as you. I confirmed with the chief that those aren't Section 8. I also made the residents aware if there is problems with those homes that concerns the neighbors, please, one, call the police.
I've had no problem with the people that live there, and they're very.
Well, I don't know why everyone is assuming they're Section 8.
This is what has been informed, and not only that, these are people that moved in. Again, I don't know them, they've been very quiet, I've introduced myself.
Yeah.
I like to know people that live in my area.
I agree
but
with you,
they have
but the
said-
times are changing.
Of course they are, and they have said they moved in very secretive,
Mhm.
the way they came in, and it was just something that was going around.
Yeah, no, they aren't Section 8, though. I did confirm with the chief and a couple other sources. And like I said, if it's not going to affect your home, I mean, somebody bought those homes. The Linden Housing Authority.
They are rented.
Huh? Well, you know, people are allowed to do
No,
that.
that I know, but that's.
Yeah,
what was
but
my
it's
concern,
not-
Because he bought the home there and across, and that's where the rumor started to go
Yeah,
around.
and by no means it is Section 8. Not that I am against any of that, because I'm certainly not. I love the 10th Ward. Everyone really keeps their homes wonderful and nice. If there are issues with homes being kept proper, noise problems, well, as far as the property's not being kept properly, you could call the Board of Health, or you could call me. I'm confident whoever the mayor and council are going to pick somebody to replace me. That'll be a wonderful asset to the 10th Ward, and you'll be given their information. If it's problems with noise or, you know, many of the nice neighborhoods even, there's big problems with drugs as well. I'm not saying that there isn't there, but if you have any issues with problems like that, we have all the sources here to take care of that. And you know, even if you can't reach me or your council person, please call the mayor's office.
Yes.
Rebecca is amazing in there. The mayor, someone will help you. We want to keep everything nice. The neighborhood's nice. You know, we don't want any problems there. So please don't hesitate to ask questions. And I'm glad that you came here tonight.
Yes.
But I'm still on for a couple of weeks, so if you want to talk,
No, I will come more often.
I'll come in and talk to you, but please talk to your neighbors on Stockton Circle, who are amazing people, and they can relay the message that I had with them.
And ma'am, also, Councilman Medina, if you can see him after the meeting, get his phone number. He will say, if you have any issues with the community there, he will help, be
I
more than
haven't,
willing to
but
help
yes,
you.
Thank you very much, I
Okay?
appreciate that, yes.
And also, we do have a do not knock ordinance.
I'm sorry?
It's called a do not knock ordinance. You register through the clerk's office? Online. If you go on the city website, city clerk's office, it's called do not knock. You can't have realtors knocking at your door.
Oh, I didn't know, well, that is good to know, thank you
The
so
only
much.
people that can knock are religious religious organizations or politicians.
Well, thank you.
Okay?
Thank you.
Okay. Next up, Patricia Campos. We have to push on do not knock ordinance more, I guess. Okay.
Hello, my
Please
name
state
is
your
Patty.
name and address for the record, please.
My name is Patricia De Campos. I live on Crescent Parkway.
Yes.
I have a question about all these break-ins to our cars. We've had a situation recently on Stockton Circle. I don't see a lot of police around our area. every once in a blue moon, I'll see a cop car driving by. Am I not?
No, you're good.
I'm good?
Yep.
Okay. So I just wanted to address that. I mean, what are we doing about that? Because there's
Okay.
been a lot.
All right, I will have our police chief address that. Chief Hart?
Thank you for coming in. This has been an epidemic, as I'm making an excuse, statewide epidemic of car break-ins. It's, believe it or not, other towns in the county, on the other side of the county, have more stolen cars and break-ins than Linden does. Probably 70 to 90% of the cars are left unopened. That's a fact. That's not a made-up number. This month it was in 60s. Last month it was in the 80s, and 90% of the cars are left unopened. It's shocking, I know. When you're a victim, of course, there's no excuse for it, and nobody should be touching anybody's property. I would certainly bring that up at the commanders' meeting at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. I meet every week with my captains, and that will be brought up. That's Crescent Parkway area you're concerned about?
Yeah.
Yeah, I will definitely bring it up tomorrow, ma'am. I certainly share concerns. One break-in is one too many. I take all these numbers personally every month when I meet with our bosses. Some things we can do something about, some things we can't. A lot of these happen so quickly. People, quite frankly, are called car fishing. They go around just checking handles in different driveways. When they get lucky cars, they take money or whatever's in the car out of it. So I will bring it up at the meeting tomorrow. Thank you for bringing your concern. There's no reason for it, but a lot of these they happen so quickly, sometimes they're hard to capture. Thank you.
Got it. Thank you. I have one more question. Is that okay? As Councilwoman Orman mentioned before about the noise ordinance, you said one time, second time, like a noisy neighbor, second time, you're going to be ticketed. Is that just for the first ward?
No,
Or
it's
is that
citywide.
for all- So is
Citywide.
that in effect now?
It's in effect.
Can I address?
Okay, yes.
Yeah, we have a noise ordinance, and you're not supposed to really be able to disturb your neighbors. Unfortunately, it's very, very difficult to enforce, but we have neighbors that you call and neighbors that will continue to be noisy. I am going to ask the police department to step up their game, not just in the first ward, but throughout the whole entire city. I mean, I like to party too, but I'm respectful. And like I said, the worst thing that you can do to me is wake me up at midnight because somebody in my ward 12 blocks away is still playing their music. So I am going to ask the police department to take a no tolerance, a zero tolerance policy for that, because we all want the same quality of life. And I truly feel your pain. I really do.
I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Okay, John Kazor? Please state your address for the record.
John Kaiser, 23 West Munsell Avenue. What is this, the Great Linden Peace Accord of 2022? Wow, everybody getting along. Smells like a new day in here. With a tinge of corruption, of course. Mr. Bono left, but he brought up, the SID budget. I'm sure he had the best budget of all budgets ever budgeted. I don't know, I felt some way about letting it be known that it was our fault for not having the budget. So it's like we don't have it and then moving on. In 2019, I stood here and I said, awnings, we're talking about awnings again. What I meant back then was that don't make it the focal point of Wood Ave's rejuvenation, but now, 3 years later, let's do something about the awnings. Do you see some of these out there across the street from Two Tonys? I can't believe during COVID he got fined for putting up his own awning, which is still the most beautiful one out there, when the awnings out there are disgusting. More gerrymandering going on. I'm surprised that you said every 10 years the wards are shaken up when your own ward, was absorbed some of the 9th Ward 3 years ago. Again, I sat up here 3 years ago and said there's just too many wards in Linden. Elizabeth has 3 times our population and they have less wards. Plainfield has a few thousand more and they have less wards. There's just too many chefs. The 7th Ward, area-wise, because of the refinery, is about the size of all the other wards put together. Taking some of the 8th Ward is ridiculous. So yesterday you talked about the recycling center possibly being open on Sundays. Councilwoman Orman said it's all about the Benjamins, baby, quoting P. Diddy. I find that a little offensive to the real workers, the boots on the ground people, who we can't spend 1 or 2 single Benjamins when we just gave 420 Benjamins to a COVID generalist. We're just making stuff up now. What is that? We gave 500 more to 2 times tonight to to computers or whatever. Top heavy on administration. We give out Benjamins like crazy. I think we could give the little guys 1 or 2 to be open on a Sunday and try that out. You said maybe a pilot program. The do not knock ordinance comes with a stipulation, unless you have a suitcase full of $1 million. I'd like to thank Firemen Yusko, Marcino, and Ty Bursey. Did I say that right? May 8th, they responded to an emergency at my house. I found out Strano had no opposition. I had a heart attack. No, I'm kidding. That's a joke, guys. Laugh. There wasn't a medical emergency in my house. We never call 911. I live right next door to the fire department. I run over there all the time. Since it's been open in 2009, I've knocked on their door multiple times, probably 5 times, and they've responded to emergency. Almost done. I'd like some information on the opioid program. I don't know exactly what that entails, Mr. Mayor. I might be able to be an asset about that. I don't hide my story. I'm open about it. I'm a recovering opiate addict. Today, life is amazing. Life is beautiful, and I love to help people. I've Narcaned people personally on the streets of Linden and gave them a second chance at life. Real quick, sorry, ran out of time. Gretchen, not going to call you Councilwoman Hickey right now. Gretchen, you're my friend. Years ago, she came up to me at Abigail's and introduced herself to me. And Mr. Mayor, you'll appreciate this. I was starstruck. I should have been the one introducing myself to her.
I was starstruck.
You're for the people. You always have been. I've been in her house. Amazing person, like everyone else has said. Linden's lucky to have you, and we'll never replace you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, Michelle Giannetta? Please state your name and address.
Hi, Michelle Giannetta, Hillcrest Terrace. Sorry, I lost my voice, as you guys all know, yesterday. Question, do I ask a question and then can I talk after?
Make your comments and then
Okay.
we will.
So, obviously, as we all know, I've been very vocal on the whole 5G aspect in the community. So, I just wanted to give a statistic. Numerous recent scientific publications have shown that EMF affects living organisms at levels well below most international and national guidelines. Effects include increased cancer risk, cellular stress, increase in harmful free radicals, genetic damages, structural and functional changes of the reproductive system, learning and memory deficits, neurological disorders, and negative impacts on general well-being in humans. Damage goes well beyond the human race, as there is growing evidence of harmful effects to both plant and animal life. So with that being said, I just wanted to reiterate that children absorb more microwave radiation than adults because their brain tissues are much more absorbent and their skulls are much more small and thin than ours. So we really need to do our due diligence to protect our children. I know I keep repeating myself, but I just feel like the more you hear it, the more you're gonna look up and realize that these things are being placed on every single corner in the 9th Ward. They're being placed everywhere. I don't even know the other wards, but if you go down Stiles, there's 2 huge 5G towers. There's one right behind the fire station in St. George Ave. There's a lot of them in Linden. I don't ever see those in other cities like Cranford or Westfield, so maybe we can adopt some of those policies. Yeah, so that's what I want to know. I wanted to know if there was an update. I also wanted to say, I don't know you, but I love your attitude, girl. You rock it. You could tell that you're for the people, and I also do. I remember saying last time that I think it's very distasteful that some people in this council find it within themselves to laugh at people's concerns and to make comments about people's concerns. And today I saw it again, so I feel like now being more comfortable coming over here, I think that it was very distasteful that you roll your eyes at people, Ms. Orman, so that's just very distasteful. And what is the update, please, Mr.
Okay, hold on 1 second. Okay, Mr. Antonelli?
Yeah, thank you, Council President. Last evening, we had our telecommunications consultant, Peter Lupo, met with this body during executive session. We discussed options on how to handle the Crown Castle agreement that was executed between the City of Linden and Crown Castle back in 2014. Mr. Lupo is taking some steps with Crown Castle, is going to be in touch with them with regard to their compliance with the Crown Castle agreement. Given some of our options, obviously, which may result in litigation, I can't indicate what those would be now, but based upon an option to litigate with Crown Castle, the governing body directed us to give them some additional information, which we are going to do. But we have already taken steps to reach out to Crown Castle and address some of the issues with regard to the small cell sites, the battery and other things that are going on there. I know there's a decibel issue with regard to sound that's being addressed as well, but that letter is going out likely tomorrow. I've seen a draft already. And if you want, you could contact me here at the law department or at my email address of dantonelli@linden-nj.gov. If you could send me an email, I could certainly keep you up to date in the interim between meetings, or in the event you can't make a meeting, I could certainly give you an update as we move forward. It all depends on what response we get from Crown Castle or how we move. But like I said, if you send me an email address, I can certainly keep you in a loop, if you will, as to the progress on it.
Great, thank you.
Council President, can I just add one thing?
Real short.
Real short.
We're going to be closing the public comment.
Yeah, no, but
Council
real
members will have their
quick.
opportunity.
No, real quick, I just wanted to mention that, if I'm not mistaken, that our consultant did say that those were 4G towers. They're not 5G. Well, everybody's concerned about 5G because that's what's the newest thing. But I mean, I'm with you with the opposition to those towers, as most of the people on this council are.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, can we have a motion to close the public comment portion of the meeting?
Make a motion to close the public comments and ask for a second.
Second.
Ormond?
Yes.
Javik?
Yes.
Caldwell?
Yes.
Mohammed?
Yes.
Roman?
Yes.
Strano?
Yes.
Blaine?
Yes.
Medina?
Yes.
Hickey?
Yes.
Mrs. Yermakaitis?
Yes. Okay, comments from members of the governing body?
Yes.
Okay. Councilman Roman, we'll start with you.
Thanks, Council President. I just want to let you know, again, and I said this to you yesterday, and I'm saying this to the public, my mother lives 4 houses away from one and 5 houses, 7 houses away from the other. I am as concerned and want to go through the process as much as you do. This council enacted something back in 2013. Not a single one of us, probably maybe 1 or 2 of us were up here at the time. And now we have to go through the motions and define fairer options. And please keep coming and keep finding out our updates on this, because it's good that you're asking questions about this, because we're also asking just as many questions up here during our sessions. So thank you. And Gretchen, I love you.
All right, Councilwoman Caldwell?
I want to wish Gretchen, Councilwoman Hickey, the best. When my son was hit by the car, her and her husband brought my son's bike by our house, and she was there for me at that time. I really didn't know her that well. I was just getting involved in running for councilwoman, and my son was hit on October 19th, 2019. I remember it like yesterday. I want to wish you the best, and it was nice working with you, and thank you. And I also want to send my prayers to the families in Buffalo and California. And I want to thank Public Works for always being there for us. And like the mayor said, we wouldn't be successful council members without Public Works behind us. Thank you, David Martinez, Shane Gillette, Jerry Bishop. I want to thank the fire department, my father. He fell last Friday, and they had to take him out in the hospital, and the fire department was right there. Thank you, Chief Haskell, for your team. And I also want to say that I agree with you. I don't want the cell towers in our neighborhood as well, against it. My brother even says, he was like, we're gonna walk around being deformed. I mean, you know, he just was talking about it, so you have, we may not react to it, but we are having discussions about it. You have my support.
Thank you, Councilwoman. All right, Councilman Medina?
Yes, real quick, Council President. Michelle, again, thank you for coming tonight and taking the lead. And again, like I mentioned in our call, I take responsibility. I let this slip through the crack as a council person representing the community. I'm supposed to be on top of everything. But again, I want to thank again my colleagues on council, the mayor. We're all kind of basically on the same page here. So we're hoping to see, get some additional information and get an update from our city attorney. I will loop you in. I will email Mr. Antonelli, and I will loop you in as well. And for the folks on Crescent, please just stay behind, and I'd love to give you some backstory, but just real quick, a snapshot. Some of these folks that do buy these homes, they're not ready to move into Linden, so they will rent them out. And as long as we have ordinance and zoning and whatnot, there's an issue, you call. We take care of it. Myself, as a matter of fact, the mayor and I, we do have a great contact in that community that we work with directly, and also Councilwoman Orman as well. Any issue that we have resources. So just stick behind and give you some backdrop. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. All right, Councilman Javik?
Yes, Council President, I just want to wish everyone a happy Memorial Day, and I also want to wish Councilwoman Hickey well in her future endeavors.
Okay, thank you. Okay, Councilman Blaine?
I forgot to mention it in my report that I want to thank the people of the 8th Ward for your patience because we have some major construction going on right by 109. We have the Wawa coming, and over there as you approach the turnpike, there's been some major construction going on. You may not be aware of it, but the Federal Express is coming to Linden, and that's going to represent jobs for our children, whether they're in high school, college, or just living in the town. So that is some really good news, but it really disturbs my commute to work, so I'm being inconvenienced, but for the greater good of the community, it's going to work out for us. Michelle, thank you for coming. Again, I just want to reiterate what Councilman Medina said. We're all against this program, and we want more answers as we go forward. And Councilwoman Gretchen, I want to thank you for being a part of this diocese, and just let you know that this is what democracy is. It's okay to have opinions on different ends of the spectrum as long as we can discuss them, come together to a happy medium, to a resolution. That's what democracy is all about, and I appreciate your opinion. I'm sure everyone else, and maybe they haven't expressed it as eloquently as I am right now, but I just want you to know that it is appreciated what you brought to the table. Thank you so much for your services.
Okay, Councilwoman Orman?
Thank you, Council President. Just a couple of things. All of us are in agreement with the towers. They're ugly, they're terrible, they're dangerous. We have kids. We care, okay? I plan on having my grandkids in this area, so we care. Second thing, Mr. Kamansky, we probably don't agree on a lot of things, but I'm going to tell you I agree with you that those yellow cinder blocks are ugly, very ugly. But I want to answer the question truthfully for you. I have zero tolerance for people that break the law. I have zero tolerance for people that put my children in that ward, put their lives at risk. Too many people make that left turn. And when I have parents calling me, telling me that their kid almost got hit by a car, I will put 50 gold blocks there to keep people from making a left turn, putting one child in danger. So we did it. It's only going to be temporary. It's a test to see if we can stop the people from making that left turn. We can't put a police officer there 24/7. And it's the school, it's the teachers that were doing it, it's the people that work at that five-star daycare. It's people that want to go across to Exeter that have total disregard for the safety of the people in that area. So it's bad. Now, we put the yellow blocks there because we had the nice orange ones, and the entitled people felt as though they could take the stoppers out, drain the water, and move them. And once again, when a parent calls me and tells me that their child almost got hit by a car, we do a case study, and we put every child's safety as a top priority. The bricks are ugly. Eventually, hopefully, we'll put big, giant planters there and make something really, really nice. But we're testing to see if we can close it off. I'm sorry, the children, it's just one of those things. So I just wanted to answer that question for you, that we did it purely for safety reason, and it's not one car, it's not two cars. We probably get about 40 cars a week that make that left turn. Thank you, Council President. Oh, and last but not least, Gretchen, thank you for all of your years of service to this wonderful city. We've had ups, we've had downs, but we've had more ups than downs. So I thank you. I thank you for being the friend, and I have to just say one more thing. I'm going to miss Chase as he does that count, and when he gets to the 10th ward going, Miss Hickey, he's going to have to learn somebody else's name, so.
Okay, Councilman Strano?
Yes, Council President. Last but not least, I also might want to send my well wishes to you, Gretchen. We've had a lot of fun in the past, and I want to focus on that and dwell on that. You know, the good times and happy times, including me breaking a bottle of wine in your brand-new kitchen. Remember that? Right? Don't ever put a bottle of wine in an opener in front of me. Anyway, we broke bread many times, and I'm hopefully that we'll see each other a lot again in the future as time goes on. And good luck to you, whatever you do.
Okay. Councilwoman Hickey.
Thank you again. So many kind words, texts, messages, it's unbelievable. All my colleagues, you've been amazing. Ralph, I have my life vest ready for the boat. One quick story, might be a minute and a half, about the mayor. Many years ago, we had to get together. I was getting everybody together, and we were going to have a wonderful, happy council for years to come. Everybody came over. I had it catered. It was a wonderful time. In our house, you know, we're Irish, so we made Irish coffees. Well, all of a sudden, I think the mayor was feeling a little, he's like, these are delicious, I'll have another one, I'll have another one. Well, he thought it was Irish International Delight that you get at ShopRite. He didn't know it was Jameson and Bailey's, and he had the best time ever. So you know what, it's those moments that we remember, regardless of our disagreements or us feeling differently about the people. They're memories I'll cherish, and I thank all of you, and I thank all of you.
I was thinking about that too when Ralph brought up the broken wine bottle. I thought about the mayor with the Irish coffees. Red wine all over the place. Yep. Yep.
I think the next day I bought him a container of International Delight and had it left on his desk.
Yep. Okay. Mayor Armstead.
Yes. Once again, Gretchen, best wishes. You know, again, you were a good council person, and we're going to miss you. I miss fighting with you every now and again. You know what I mean? But no. All right. Right. But anyway, listen. It was mentioned earlier tonight by one of the constituents about a love fest. Yes, we are getting along much better as a governing body, as it should be. We shouldn't be fighting just because somebody says potato. I shouldn't say potato, because it might be a sweet potato. So, and that all too often in government, that's what happens. You say potato, I say potato. You say tomato, I say tomato. It shouldn't be that way. We should somehow move forward and do what's best for the citizens, and that's the way it's supposed to be in government throughout the whole country. I want to talk a little bit about the left turn. Okay, yes, we did put barriers up there for that left turn. Okay, and we have been trying for a while. There were several complaints being made about people making that illegal left turn. Now, it's different than going down Price Street, because the people who are going down Price Street more often than not are people who don't know Linden, and they come here thinking they can make a left turn. The people who are making that left turn up in the 9th Ward are people who are trying to save time by cutting across. And yes, a young child was almost hit, and that was the straw that broke the camel's back. When this young man was almost hit, this little kid, 5 years old, was almost hit. The police chief and the public safety just said, listen, we're going to stop people from making that left turn. Now, hopefully, like anything else, people will get the message, and they'll see, we don't want you making left turns, and we'll keep it blocked if you're going to make left turns. So at some point, we're going to remove those barricades and go back to normal. But let's just hope and pray that when we do that, that those people who are violating the law will start obeying the law, okay? And last but certainly not least, it was mentioned about us spending money for a COVID generalist. Yes, we did hire someone for a COVID generalist, yes, but guess what? It's not costing the city a nickel, because we're using, these positions are funded by the state and federal government. As you know, there's been a COVID pandemic, and so the federal government and the state is giving cities money to have people in these positions, so it's not costing us anything. So yes, you are going to see COVID generalists and COVID-related positions in the city of Linden, but rest assured that your tax dollars, your local tax dollars, aren't supporting it. It's coming from the state and federal government, as we should, because this is the first time we've ever dealt with anything like a pandemic in our lifetimes. And let's hope that we learn, let's hope that these positions that we put in place, the COVID generalists and all these specialists, will now help us to avoid some of the pitfalls that we had when we had this last pandemic. So that concludes my reports.
Thank you, Mayor. Gretchen, I wish you all the best, and we invite you back here next month. We're going to present you with a resolution from council, so save the date, okay?
Maybe my tears will be a little more controllable next month, but I doubt it.
All right. The next council meetings will be as followed. We had a Scout and Government Day scheduled for May 24th, but we had to cancel it temporarily. We're going to try to reschedule it possibly in the fall sometime. So that meeting on the 24th is canceled. We had the council conference meeting Monday, June 20th at 6 p.m. in the council chamber rooms, 301 Northwood Avenue. Council conference meeting prior to the council meeting, Tuesday, June 21st at 6 p.m. in the council chambers. Council meeting Tuesday, June 21st at 7 p.m. in the council chambers, 301 Northwood Avenue. These meetings will be held in person. Can we have a motion to adjourn,
Motion
please?
to adjourn.
Second.
Ormond?
Yes.
Javik?
Yes.
Caldwell?
Yes.
Mohammed?
Yes.
Roman?
Yes.
Strano?
Yes.
Blaine?
Yes.
Medina?
Yes.
Hickey?
Yes.
Mrs. Yamakaitis?
Yes. Good evening, everyone.